Live from Swain County Memorial Stadium in Boyce Dietz Field here on a gorgeous Friday night. This is Swain High Maroon Devil football. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Ayers along with Toby Burrell as we're looking out at the gorgeous Great Smoky Mountains. The sun is kind of setting over toward the Nolans Creek area. And if you're worried about the rain, don't worry. The clouds have moved away. We got a couple of white puffy clouds here. The sun is out. There is no rain. You have plenty of time to get here before a 7:30 kickoff. So come on up and join us, and let's see if we can help our Maroon Devils get victory number 1 here in 2018. Toby, we come in tonight. It's actually starting to get muggy again after the clouds and the rain moved on through. It looks like the turf is going to be in great shape. It looks gorgeous, and I think a lot of people are primed and ready and pumped up to see a Maroon Devil victory here tonight.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the Maroon Devils respond, Gary, after 2 weeks on the road. And as I'm sure you and Coach Y have alluded to many times over the broadcast time, it's a very young team.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see, a general rule, younger teams play better at home than they do on the road. So it'll be interesting to see how these Maroon Devils come out tonight in front of the home crowd on their home turf and in this beautiful environment. You know, we've been in some great environments so far at Weatherby Stadium and Carr Hooper Stadium, but you know what? To me, none compare to this beautiful stadium that we have here at Swain County Memorial Stadium, Boyce Dietz Field.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And, you know, as I look back to last year when we played these Knights from North Henderson High School, their stadium is a little bit like ours in the regard that when you look over across their visitor stand at North Henderson, I know you remember that, you can see the beautiful mountains over there as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when we look out here, we see the clouds, a little bit of fog in some of the valleys, and it is a gorgeous setting. And we have just one of the best stadiums around, and we want it to be full of Maroon Devil fans here tonight. We have 2 in a row at home. We have North Henderson tonight, Franklin next Friday night here, and then we're open before we begin conference play.
And that one will be at home, too.
Yes,
so
indeed.
we actually got our next 3 games here at Swain County Memorial.
So we've got some good home games coming up for you, and we hope you'll make your plans to be here with us. And it's going to be a great night tonight. I think North Henderson is coming in hungry, like our Maroon Devils. Both teams are coming in looking for their first win of the season. Our Maroon Devils played a tough Tuscola team, and boy, talking about tough, Tuscola plays at Pisgah tonight. We played Smoky Mountain last week. Meanwhile, North Henderson has had a tough time. They lost to Hendersonville 49-0. They lost last week to East Henderson 48-0. So yes, do the math. They've been outscored 97-0 in 2 games. I think they have a lot to prove. I think they have more talent than their record has shown, Toby. But by the same token, I think our Maroon Devils are the same way.
I think both teams coming in here hungry for a win, if not needing a win.
Yes.
If for nothing else, for a confidence boost for both of the programs and what they're trying to do. And, you know, I think both teams couldn't ask for a better night on the schedule to be playing each other than this one, where they're going to be able to go against each other and let's see which team relax and makes the plays early on. I think that'll be the team that gains control of this football game.
I think you're right. It's all about execution, as we know, and as coaches will tell you, you got to execute. People have to do their job. People have to play their lanes. And I think both these teams are capable and hungry to do that with a lot to prove. These guys play in a very tough conference, that Western Mountain Athletic Conference. They were 2-9 last year, 0-8. They didn't win a single conference game, but that is a very tough conference when you look at it. As we look at the preseason poll in that league, you're looking at Reynolds, a team that was outstanding last year. Irwin ranked 2nd. Asheville 3rd, Tuscola 4, Robertson 5, West Henderson 6, North Buncombe 7, Enka, and North Henderson. So that's a very tough competitive league, Toby, kind of on a similar scale as our Smoky Mountain Conference. When you look at the top of the Smoky with Swain, Cherokee, Murphy, Robbinsville, it's kind of similar to that Western Mountain Athletic League.
Absolutely. There are no cupcakes in it once you start it, and when you're in the boat, the North and Swain is in for that matter, and you try to get your a non-conference schedule to be able to be one that prepares you for that tough run, then there are no cupcakes in that non-conference schedule either, which makes it even harder for both of these teams to be able to play that. I mean, for North, they're having to play their location rivals in Hendersonville and East Henderson, and both those teams are always traditionally very good, so they're having to work their way through it. Swain goes through the old Smoky Mountain Conference, if you will, playing Franklin, Smoky Mountain, and now adding Tuscola to that mix, so their preseason or non-conference schedule, if you will, is difficult as well. So both these teams hungry for a win tonight, I'm sure, Gary.
Oh, you said it right. As we broadcast tonight, we want to take a moment here, a couple of minutes, if you will, and even more, to talk about one of our colleagues who passed away this year, and we miss dearly every time we get together on a broadcast, and that's Steve Moon. Steve Moon, of course, a former commissioner and was always involved in trying to make Swain County a better place. He was very proud of the Maroon Devils as he was a broadcaster here on football games for many, many years. And then he, just a couple of years ago, kind of switched over to what I think was his first love, and that is baseball. He broadcast baseball and did such a good job at what he did. And Joe Hope and our friends had a chance to put together this tribute to Steve Moon. Joe, take it away.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
If it doesn't come on, say the word and we'll start talking. Friends, if you're watching on the Maroon Devils Network, you're seeing some play by our Maroon Devils. Now, we have some audio that Steve Moon was actually calling, but we can't get the audio to come in here tonight, and we apologize for that technical glitch. But we just want to say what a tribute and what an honor it was to broadcast with Steve Moon, who actually celebrated a birthday just a few days ago. And, of course, our thoughts, our prayers go out to Faye and his family, and we hope they're watching here tonight because Steve was one of a kind, Toby, and he's the kind of guy that loved to be here on Friday night. One of his pregame rituals, if you will, was going out to eat normally with his good buddies Joe Benny Schuler, Chuck McMahon, Jamie Fisher, and some of those guys, Casey Crow among those. They love to go out and eat before the game, so it was kind of a badge of honor, if you will, that Steve Moon always showed up very well fed, and he liked to talk about that. Yeah, we ate down here or we ate over there, and Joe Benny paid for it. That was one of his favorite things.
I started to say, and for some reason, every single time Steve managed to come out of that without having to pay. That's what amazed me so much about it is getting that crowd that he was with to cough up some dough for dinner. That was amazing in and of itself that he was able to pull that off. But, fond memories of Steve. Gary, I went to him a couple of years ago, and I asked him to do something very difficult for him, which was give up this broadcast to be able to do full-time baseball, and I knew it was something that he enjoyed and was really good at, as he was with football, but we needed that somebody so we could get baseball on the air on a regular basis with me and softball season involved in that, and I just felt like we had to make that move. And when I sit down and talk to him about it, he was, sure, whatever you need me to do, I'll do. I'll be glad to do that. I love baseball. And so I think it was a move that strengthened our Maroon Devils network immeasurably. But it was one that was selfless on his part, and that really explains Steve best of all to everybody out there who knew him and those who didn't, is he would do anything whatsoever to help Swain Athletics and Swain High School and our broadcast.
Yeah, Steve was a team player, and talking about baseball, he was a big Los Angeles Dodger baseball fan, and I checked the standings, so I know coming into it tonight, they're only one game out of first place in the National League West, so I'm sure Steve is enjoying that. And I've got a couple of stories. I know one of them sticks in my mind. We were over at Rosman High School, I'll never forget, and it was a beautiful night. And as you know, normally at Rosman High School, we were always on top of the press box.
Right.
Not in the press box, but on top. So Steve Claxton was there, and he was panning around, and there was a beautiful full moon up in the sky. And Steve Claxton panned his camera up there and showed that beautiful full moon. Then I made the comment, oh, we've also got a full moon sitting right here. His name is Steve Moon. So he panned the camera down and kind of got a picture of Steve's belly. and of course, Steve Moon laughed. He said, yeah, we really had a good meal before the game, so yes, I'm definitely a full moon. And Steve just cracked up with the full moon comment, and he was always funny and loved to tell jokes. I know every night when we got finished with a broadcast, whether it here or on the road, and we'd get tearing down the equipment and taking things apart, Steve would get ready to leave, and he'd always look back at me. He'd always say the same thing. He says, well, I'm going to do something the devil won't do. And I'd say, what's that, Steve? And he'd say, leave you alone. And that was always his parting comment, and he'd turn and walk away with that grin that he always had. But he was a true joy, and we miss him every broadcast.
Yeah, and I tell you, Gary, that's one thing that the folks at home don't get to see that I do is what goes on when the cameras aren't rolling, when we're not live on the air, and you guys are very professional, and he was as well, and doing your job and playing up Swain High School and the accomplishments they have. But when the cameras go off, let the laughter begin usually around here for us. And Steve was always the ringleader. Now, I've never seen a man have more jokes than Steve had.
I know.
And they were all immensely corny. I wish we could play some of them back for you because you would love them. But every one of them hilarious in and of themselves. He always seemed to leave us just laying on the floor rolling with laughter, and we've certainly missed that around here. His face popping in the door, and it's worth note to the folks at home too. I know we've talked about this off the air, but Steve had this amazing book that he kept names in.
You're right.
And he had everybody's parent, grandparent, and everything in this amazing book of his. So all of that stuff that was coming seemingly off his head about who everybody was kin to, he actually had in a book. And he would use that book every week, going back and forth in the pages until it was worn, and he had to replace it the next year. But he had that book that he used to relay everybody's family and get everybody mentioned down the road that was involved in that athlete's particular upbringing and how they came to be here. And it was just an amazing part that he pulled that off as many times as he did.
Oh, he did. He was one of a kind, and we missed him dearly. And our thoughts and prayers and our tribute tonight going out to Steve Moon. Fans, stay tuned. We're going to take a 2-minute break down the line. We'll be back talking more about tonight's game. We'll hear from Coach Neil Blankenship and more when we continue after this 2-minute timeout on the Maroon Devils Network.
Maroon Devil fans, this is Michael Watson with Farley Insurance asking you to come out and support our Maroon Devils during this upcoming sports year. I know what it's like to wear the maroon and white and the dedication to excellence it takes to reach your goals. Like so many of the teammates I had the honor of playing with, together we accomplished some great things. I have taken the same dedication and lessons I've learned from the playing fields with me to Farley Insurance to become the best insurance agent I can be, and then some. Whether it's home, auto, life, health, business, or commercial, Farley Insurance is dedicated to making sure we take care of you and your family. Come be a part of the largest independently owned insurance company in the Smoky Mountain Conference, located at 264 U.S. Highway 19, Bryson City, North Carolina. Numbers 828-366-2555. Again, 828-366-2555. I'm Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, your hometown insurance agent. And go Big Maroon.
Fans, welcome back. And again, we want to welcome you if you're watching on the Maroon Devils Network or on WBHN AM and FM. Thanks for joining us tonight. Right now, let's check in with our Emma Dingle, who had a chance to sit down and talk some football. Emma's been busy this week, so I know Joe has been working some with Coach Neil Blankenship. Here's what Coach Blankenship had to say as we get ready for the Knights of North Henderson High School.
Hello, Maroon Nation. This is Emma Dingle with the Maroon Devils Network. I'm here with head football coach Neil Blankenship. Coach, our Maroon Devils played a very tough Smoky Mountain team. What lessons did the team take away from our very tough contest?
Well, that was a rough game, and we came back after that one, and they had to look at themselves individually, had to look at ourselves as coaches, and do some things differently. And we worked a lot on fundamentals this week and simpling the game plan as far as what we were doing defensively. I thought we struggled all night defensively on our assignments, our alignment, and where we were supposed to be. I thought that got us in trouble most of the night, and I felt like our defense ended up hurting our offense because it kind of just carried over. So, we went back to some basics and really worked on some fundamentals for this week and trying to keep things simple and just let them react this week and see how it goes from there.
This week, our Maroon Devils are playing their very first home game after two very tough games on the road. How will the Devils handle another tough opponent in the North Henderson Knights?
Well, the North Henderson Knights are very athletic. They're 0-2 right now, but they've played two good football teams. They played East Henderson, who's 2-0, and they've played Hendersonville, who's 2-0. And both those teams are extremely athletic, so it's kind of hard to get a gauge on how athletic North Henderson really is. We know they've got some great athletes from what we've seen in their scrimmages. But, with what we've seen so far, they're going to be a spread team, too, and they're going to try to hurt us with their athletes. So we're going to have to be good tacklers, get off blocks, and take good angles. So, they're going to be a strong opponent for us. And playing at home, I'm hoping our kids are looking forward to playing at home finally and enjoying the atmosphere of that.
Well, there you have it, Maroon Nation. This is Emma Dingle reporting for the Maroon Devils Network, streaming live on maroondevils.com and on WBHN 1690 AM and 94.1 FM. Now back to Gary Ayers and Coach Rod White with the Maroon Strong pregame show.
Take the hats and stand at attention to true reverence. And that all talking and other distractions cease while the Swain County High School Marching Band plays our national anthem. Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, you just heard our Maroon Devil Marching Band as they played the national anthem live here on a Friday night and doing a great job as well. A wonderful sound there. We appreciate you and we appreciate Emma Dingle for her work in talking to head coach Neil Blankenship as I really believe these guys have been working very hard this week. I know the coaches want to get things back on track as our train kind of got derailed last week at Smoky Mountain High School. And I think you're going to see some hungry Maroon Devils coming out here tonight to take on the Knights of North Henderson. On the flip side of that coin, though, I think North Henderson is probably just as hungry, if not more so, because they've had two tough weeks. They were shut out by Hendersonville. They were shut out by East Henderson, some of their county rivals over in Henderson County. So I know they are a better football team than that 97-0 scoreboard has shown in the last 2 weeks for North Henderson. Just to give you an idea, last year we went over there and North Henderson beat us 34-28. It was a very tight game. They had a huge drive in the third quarter where they really kept the ball away from us for almost the entire third quarter. That was really, really difficult. So I know this North Henderson team is better than the first two games have shown, and I think we may be seeing that coming into this game here tonight. Pulling on the headset now is joining us now, head coach Rod White. Coach, it's good to see you back in the press box here tonight. Our guys have been out on the field warming up. We've talked about the great job Steve Moon has done with us over the years. We heard from Coach Neil Blankenship, but now it's getting close to kickoff time. It's time to, as some of the guys used to say, quit talking and start chalking.
Well, we found different ways to hurt ourselves in two football games, and I believe what Coach Blankenship and his staff's trying to do right now is just find a way to be successful at something. And that may be by moving people around. It may be by changing a few things. But I'm sure, and I've been in that situation, You take two losses like that, and you just don't know which way to turn. And the only place you can turn, all you got is your players and your staff. I mean, that's it. And your fans are there. But as far as the influence of what happens on that field, it boils down to what an old coach used to tell me. It's not the X's and O's sometimes. It's the Jims and Joes. And so we've got to figure out a way, and I'm sure that's what they're working on, a way to put it all together and start having success at something.
Oh, no doubt about it. And I'm just going to throw in a name. Coach Mark Spears, a great friend of mine at Western Carolina, and he inherited a program that was really in bad shape. And he went through two extremely tough years, played a lot of kids that weren't ready to play. And one thing that he liked to talk about, Coach, and I'm sure he would agree with me on this, he said at some point, the coaches can only do so much. At some point in the program, the players have to take ownership of the team. And he was always preaching that. And I think there's a lot to that because, they stayed with the process that they had going, and it paid off.
All right. Yeah, and that taking ownership is one of the things that you try to preach to your kids starting out when they're sophomores, and those that finally get it, finally understand it, and try to do just that, they can turn the season around for you, and it only takes one. It's better if it's two or more, but if it sometimes it's just one, and they'll make the rest of the team will kind of fall in line.
I think you're right, and I think a perfect example of that. And in a different kind of way because they didn't have many failures, and that was the 2004 football team that went undefeated. That team I think the year before had taken a couple of games on the chin. I know we went over there in Tennessee and played that really good team, but they came over the next year. We took care of them. I think that team had some players on it that made that happen.
Yeah, I've told people this, and you stood back and watched. It was one of the things that if we knew as a team and as a coaching staff, we didn't know how good we were going to be, but we were pretty good. And the only thing that was going to really hurt us real bad would be us. And so, barring injuries, so we just had to make sure that somewhere we didn't get derailed. And the kids took ownership of that team. And I'll tell you, in my years of coaching, that was probably one of the easiest coaching years. And they said, well, yeah, you were good. Yeah, that makes it easy, But the kids were one that made that happen. And that started back when they were younger. They played together and they stayed together. And by the time they were seniors, it was obvious, that who their leadership was coming from and which way it was going. And practice was easy. When I say easy, we worked hard on them. There was times that I would have to tear stuff up at practice, what they were doing, or not be satisfied with it, just to get them kind of riled up, because I knew at some point in time they're going to have to call on something they hadn't called on yet. So once they did that at practice, it wasn't anything for them to do it in the ball game then.
And Coach, you mentioned the senior leadership. That's big, and I think that's one of the growing pains, if I can use that term, for this football team. We have so many young kids. I was looking at, we have, I think, 4 senior starters. On the whole team, we have 8 seniors. 5 or 6 of those seniors contribute. And then you look at, we have so many young people, some sophomores in there, some juniors who haven't really started. So we really have, we really have some young players, and we're going to come back and talk more about that. We're about 5 minutes away from kickoff. Come on up and join us. You still got time to get here. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout here on the Maroon Devils Network.
Hello, Maroon Devil fans. This is Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, asking you to come out and support our Maroon Devils during this upcoming sports year. I know what it's like to wear the maroon and white and the dedication to excellence it takes to reach your goals. Like so many of the teammates I had the honor of playing with, together we accomplished some great things. I have taken the same dedication and lessons I've learned from the playing fields with me to Farley Insurance to become the best insurance agent I can be, and then some. Whether it's home, auto, life, health, business, or commercial, Farley Insurance is dedicated to making sure we take care of you and your family. Come be a part of the largest independently owned insurance company in the Smoky Mountain Conference, located at 264 U.S. Highway 19, Bryson City, North Carolina. Numbers 828-366-2555. Again, 828-366-2555. I'm Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, your hometown insurance agent. And go Big Maroon.
Fans, welcome back. As we look down on the field, we see our Maroon Devil players coming around that track. And, Coach, this is always something I enjoyed, and that's seeing our players holding hands coming around that track. And I think that develops a lot of team brotherhood right there.
Yeah, that when they walk in front of these fans right here, it puts a little more pressure on them. And this is their first game at home, and maybe we'll see this response then.
Oh, no doubt about it. They're down there with the Maroon Devil Marching Band. Now we see North Henderson run in on the other side. North Henderson's numbers are down a little bit. Talking to Zach Wilkins, their head coach, and a lot of people know his dad, probably even more so, Danny Wilkins, who was such a great coach for so many years at Asheville High. So Zach knows coaching. I mean, he grew up in a coaching family. He knows football. And, Coach, I think he's trying to get his program to where he wants it over at North Henderson, and it's been a struggle for him.
Yeah, it's a struggle when you start with a group and you're trying to keep numbers out there, and I mean you got to have enough to even practice with. I mean it's hard. It's hard to keep them healthy enough out there to mock things up at practice, even to do a walkthrough. Just so that you can get your head wrapped around what it is you're going to be seeing, what you're trying to do then.
And they play in that tough Western Mountain Athletic Conference that we talked about. Here come our Maroon Devils from the other end over there. They're coming in, and they're going to be coming through that fans tunnel with the cheerleaders and some of the little cheerleaders down there with them as they're coming on the field. But you know, it rained a little bit earlier, but now the skies are cleared up and the sun has gone down over there toward Nolan Creek, and it's feeling really good here for our first home game.
It's a perfect night right now.
It is. And, you know, we like it when it's nice and cool. I can remember when you guys used to be down there on the sidelines with shorts on and it'd be about 20 degrees. But that's been a long time ago.
I was younger and dumber, and tougher. I was a whole lot tougher then, yeah. You didn't pay much attention to it then, but, boy, it starts to show when you get old. Yeah, I started putting on every layer of clothes I had to put on during the wintertime.
Oh, boy. Our captains tonight, by the way, for the Maroon Devils were Nolan Brown. Also out there with him tonight was Ian Brooks. Along with him was Hunter Burrell. They were our captains tonight. And we're going to be receiving the opening kickoff here, Coach. And one thing we struggled with last week, there was nothing we could do. Smoky Mountain just kept kicking it over our heads into the end zone. And that makes it tough to get good field position because we have a good return man in our sophomore, Bryce Sane.
Yeah, and they recognized that, and that's why they only tried to really kick it to him one time, and I think that was all about field position because they had the type of kicker that could put it into the end zone, and that's as good a weapon as you can have.
Oh, boy, I remember days from the Zimmerman family. Here we go. This one is going to be short, taken by an up, back and dropped, and we get on it at the 30-yard line. Wow. That'll make your heart stop for just a moment, but we got on the football down there. Getting on that football, by the way, was Jesse Waldrop, one of our seniors. And, Coach, we had 4 turnovers last week, 2 picks, 2 fumbles. We've got to keep those to a minimum tonight.
Yeah, and all 4 of those were drive killers. I mean, it really hurt. So hopefully they've got some of that out of their system now, and we can hang on to this football.
And here we go. Damian Lossey, who was knocked out of the game last week and injured. He's going to be starting tonight. He runs to the right side, and he gets good yards on first down out near the 34-yard line for about a 4-yard pickup. And I think, Coach, this first drive, to me, is just really important.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe. Replay that one for us.
We got replays tonight.
All right. Well,
here we go, Coach. But that was a good play with Damian running out of the shotgun.
Yeah, we need to get his wheels back up underneath him after being out to a bigger part of the game last week. So it's good to see him back out there.
Here we go. He floats it out there. Got a screen out of the backfield on the left side. First down over there, out of bounds, is going to be Bryce Sane. He had some good blocking. There is a couple of flags down, and I hope that's not a holding call with those blockers out there in front of it.
Well, it's either that. I think it's a horse collar. Well, I don't know. It looks like they're going to take it. He's talking about our side of the line of scrimmage right now. So,
and it's right in front of the North Henderson bench over there again.
Yeah.
Zach Wilkins. And it is going to be against the Maroon Devils. And here we go, Coach, as we can see it over there.
Yeah, those officials, they really don't like it when you get your hands outside of the framework of a defender. And if you slide your hand out there on his shoulder, they're standing. And especially if you're a receiver, because there's an official standing right there. You can get away with it in the line of scrimmage. But there's an official standing right there watching you, and he's looking for those things.
He is, and so that cost us, instead of a first down, now we have a second down and about 7 from the 33-yard line. One back in the backfield, he's going to get the call, and he runs to the right side, and he's got the first down. We're talking about Ian Brooks out across the 45-yard line. He comes out charged up, and we have a good crowd here tonight, and I hope our crowd gets charged up too.
Yeah, it's time, and like you were talking about, the first drive is always important. If you don't get it in the end zone, at least get the field position in your favor as much as you can.
And some good blocking out there in front for Ian Brooks. And, Coach, I just think it would help our confidence tremendously if we can have a good, successful drive. Got trips on the left side. This time Damian is kind of in trouble there. He had nowhere to go, Coach, nowhere to toss it, and there was no hole to get through.
Yeah, I'm not real sure if that was the play that he wanted to run right there, or run it that way. I think he was expecting one of the receivers to become a pitchback for him because he's looking out there, but it didn't work out that way.
Didn't work out. A lot of white and gold and purple all around them. Their colors are purple and gold, and they're in white jerseys with gold numbers, which are kind of hard to read. We'll do the best we can here tonight. This time, Jacob Langston lines up tight on the right side. Here comes the handoff to Bryce. Bryce, nice hole into Knight territory at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, good job running the football there. He could have been tackled for a loss then, and good footwork got him out of trouble there. And we missed a blitzing linebacker there as he came through over the top, and he just Bryce did a great job of just turning his shoulders and jumping right by him.
Well, he got by him there, and if you folks are listening on radio, of course, you can't see these instant replays, but Coach Rod White he's loving this stuff. 3rd down and 4 here for the Maroon Devils. Twins on the left side. Handoff. No, he fakes the handoff, and Damian keeps it down near a first down at the 44.
Yeah, now this is a little bit of zone stuff right here. I knew they'd been wanting to run some of this, and they attempted it at Tuscola, but what you'll see is a zone block with a man pulling, and he's actually blocking for that quarterback right there. And a quarterback, maybe if he stays a little bit wider right there, he makes it even a bigger gain.
Oh, no doubt. Chase Hughes pulled over there and was blocking that hole, and it's going to be so close to a first down, Coach. You're going to take time out and measure. It looks like we're a hair short at the 44 of North Henderson.
Yeah, we may be a little bit short on it, but this may be a situation where they think they need to go for it right here anyway.
Got a Maroon Devil fan right in front of us, Wendy Peterson, and she's got a couple of kids out there playing.
Yep.
Good to see our parents out here tonight.
Yeah, I got to give a shout-out real quick to my wife and my youngest son, Cody, and his fiancée, Kayla Crawley. They're at my house right now. They couldn't come to the ball game, so they're at the house, and I told them I'd give them a shout-out before the ball game was over.
Hey, I tell you what. Now,
Kayla's living up in New York. Yeah, she's living up in New York. She flew in for this weekend.
I tell you, she can't be a Yankee, can she?
No, it ain't in her.
It just doesn't seem right. Here comes the quarterback keeper. It's enough for the first down. We were a little bit short. We needed about a foot. Damian Lossy got us a yard down to the 43, first down. But I tell you what, to me, Coach, they are an outstanding couple. And I'm not just saying that because he's your son and we love Kayla Crawley, but they really are, I think, just a super couple.
Yeah, she can beat him up. That's the only reason it works.
Hey, we all know how that works.
Oh, yeah.
We understand who the boss is. Here we go. First down and 10. Maroon Devils at the 43. Lossy running right behind the line of scrimmage. And, Coach, we're already seeing it here tonight on this first drive. We didn't see it a whole lot last week. We're getting push on the line of scrimmage.
You're exactly right, Gary. If you watch a replay right there, look at the pad level. When I talk about pad level, you will see that our offensive lineman pads get under their pads. And when you see that happening and those feet moving, you're going to move things. And we got too big of people up there not to be moving people around.
You said it. We got to get leverage on them. We can't stand straight up and let them get inside us.
Yeah.
We've got to get that leverage. And because when you look at size, our size is probably as good as anybody we're going to play all season.
Right, exactly. But it doesn't help you if your pad level's too high. And any coach that's been around any period of time can tell you that pad level is so important, especially in the running game.
You gotta have that leverage and be able to move your man. Here we go, running again. This time not a whole lot of room at the 35-yard line. We got a couple of yards. It's going to bring up third down and 2. Bryce Sane was met hard in the hole down there. One of their linebackers again coming up on the tackle, and that's Maddox McCreary. But it's going to be at the 35, third and a couple.
Yeah, we tried to inside block this thing and try to almost wedge block it and kick out on the end, and that gives the running back and the quarterback some place to go with the ball.
North Henderson, good size up front. This time it's going to be Ian Brooks, and I don't think he got the first down. But talking about their defensive line, Coach, they have big boys up front. Here's their size. Across the front, they go 5'11", 260 pounds, 6'2", 280, 5'10", 295, and this other kid is 6 foot 250. They got plenty of size.
Oh, yeah. And all that weight up front right there between our offensive linemen and those defensive linemen, running backs have to be very particular about where they go in there. There's a lot of big bodies in there. We're going unbalanced right here. We shift them over.
We run right behind that unbalanced line. It looks like we got the first down. That's just pure power there.
Yeah, that was something to put all them big bodies on one side, give the ball to him, and let him get everything he can upfield. Not anything fancy. You can see all the helmets coming to one spot. He's running right in behind them there, just trying to knock the ball line of scrimmage forward.
And one of those linemen was the Michael Watson Farley Insurance Player of the Week, and that's our center, Nolan Brown. He was the Player of the Week from the Smoky Mountain game. Here we got a penalty flag flying on first down and 10 with just about 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
I don't know what that's about because there wasn't anything illegal there unless somebody jumped. But I didn't think they did.
I didn't see much movement up front.
What's this?
But they're going to call offside against us.
Must have been when we realigned. We got too much of the football there when we put our hand down. That can happen if you're going to move people around like that. They just got to watch carefully and see that football as they line up.
Got to be just behind it, don't they?
Yeah, it got to be give yourself a little room. You can't break the plane of that where that ball is.
This time our Maroon machine puts twins on the left side, two backs right behind Damian Lossy and the Veer, the split backs. First down, we need 15. We hand off to the left side. Bryce Sane breaks a tackle down inside the 30-yard line. Good run of about 7, almost 8 yards there, Coach, and he had a nice little spin move in there.
Yeah, he got his shoulders down when he first got hit. Then he rotates them and does a good job. And he's not a great big target. Hits a good veer seam right there, and then you'll see turn his shoulders and pick up those extra yards.
Good spin move there by Bryce, one of the sophomores on our backfield, along with our sophomore quarterback, Damian Lossy. 6 minutes to play here. Halfway gone in the first quarter. Same set. Twins left. Split backs. This time option. Pitches it out to Bryce. Big room on the right side. 15-10. It's a foot race, and he's in the end zone,
There
Coach.
we go.
And that's a big touchdown.
Well, we were talking about the opening drive and how big that was, and I was looking right here. I'm going to see. It'll be posted up here in a minute how many plays and the total number. It had to be 70 yards, but we ate 2 penalties, I think, as we were going down through there. So
we did. That was a nice run, and there were not a whole lot of bodies out there for Bryce on that right side. A lot of real estate.
You can see the veer block right there, and the single block out here on the man who had the quarterback. So when he pitched it, it kind of left everybody in a foot race then with Bryce.
And he just outran him to the end zone. The point after touchdown is going to be up, and it's going to be good. And our Maroon Devils take the early lead, 7-0, 5:53 to play. We're going to take a 30-second timeout, and we'll be right back here on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. Getting ready to kick off is going to be Trevor Emery. He's going to be our kicker, and Trevor is a true freshman, Coach. He's the only freshman out there on this football team, but he's going to kick it off for us.
Well, when you need a kicker, sometimes you got to go find them, and they don't just show up, and you got to go dig them up. So,
and he kicks it straight up and does a pretty good job of it, too.
Kick.
Down inside the 9-yard line is where they're going to bring it back from, out to the 20, 25. They break one tackle, out across the 30. Good return for the Knights of North Henderson. But, Coach, a good drive. I think it was 12 plays, 70 yards, averaging about 6.3 or so a carry. And we got in the end zone. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and that's with 2 penalties in process, and that's tough to overcome. We've not been able to overcome those in the past 2 games. That's what's really cut our throat, was turnovers and those penalties at crucial times when you're trying to get that football into the end zone. But this time we didn't let it deter us.
2 penalties, 15 yards. But, again, the big play was Bryce Sane, who scored on that, I believe it was about a 29-yard run. So Bryce got it in the end zone, and we have a 7-0 lead. Now North Henderson is going to come out and spread it out. They have the pistol set, twins on the left side. They turn and hand off to the only back of the backfield, and he's going to spin down across the 35 for a 4-yard pickup. 2nd and 6 coming up, and there's 33, Ian Brooks on the tackle.
Yeah, and we were talking about coming off blocks. They're going to zone block this thing. When I say zone block, you see all these linemen take a step to the right, and they'll pull this onside guard. Well, now this back's got 2 options. He can either run it over there, or he can run it from where that guard pulled from if your linebackers flow out of there. So he's looking at both of those things as he goes.
Also a good tackle by Connor McCoy on that play as well. They run basically a similar-looking play, but this time we stop it behind the line of scrimmage. A yard loss at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, well, that zone concept has to do with it's up to your backs and your quarterbacks to make all the moves. They don't do anything simple. You're not going to see any complicated blocking schemes. They just kind of try to come off there and move you and let their backs and quarterbacks do their thing.
There was a good tackle by Hunter Burrell. Hunter, one of our seniors, coming in there. Hunter plays a linebacker. 3rd down now, and now the heat's on North Henderson. They're going to have to get it rolling. They get the play called in from the sideline. Got 5 seconds on the play clock. Going to have to get it going here. 3rd down and 7. They run from the pistol. They're going to throw. They look to the right side. Got a man down there. There's some contact. It's going to be incomplete. There is no penalty flag. And it looks like it's going to be punting time for North Henderson. That was close, Coach. And there was a little push and shove, but I think it was going both ways.
Well, yeah, when they'll let you get away with some hand play, as long as you don't grab a hold of somebody. But if you got a guy, his arm's out and your arm's out, and you get hung up, I want to see if he traps this ball. Yeah.
Here comes the replay, and well, that was close, and he almost caught it.
Yep. Yeah, he sure did. He made a good move back inside.
So Maroon Devils, good coverage down there on the defensive end. That was Hunter Call down there with a good job on defense. Now they're going to have to punt it away, though. And let's say,
snap. There we go.
Snap over the punter's head. He's going to try to kick it. It's going to be kicked by North Henderson, and we have it down inside the 10. They just botched that one up big time.
Yeah, it starts with that snap, and it sailed over his head, and that's happened a lot over the years to some pretty good football teams.
Oh, I can remember down at the state championship game. Was that a big play or what?
Yeah, we prayed that one through. Yeah,
that was Jacob Langston down there on the recovery. We see a North Henderson lineman accidentally kick it backwards, but Jacob was right there, got on the football before the punter down there. Their punter, that was Maddox McCreary, and now we're looking at it 1st and goal. And, boy, North Henderson wants a timeout. They are not ready for this.
No, they weren't ready to go on defense right there, and they were missing the player there, and they were trying to run him on the field, and they realized they were going to get in trouble there.
Coach, we want to take a timeout and remember one of our Maroon Devils who passed away earlier this week, and that's Michael Proctor. You remember Michael? He played on that 1977 football team. A fine young man, a great coach, a great player, and he is going to be remembered by all of us who knew him.
Yeah, I always enjoyed seeing Michael every time we go to a coach's clinic somewhere, and it was a statewide clinic. He'd find us, we'd find him, and, of course, being kin to Coach Burrell, being around him. A lot of times we'd get in the playoffs, and there'd be a team down there somewhere close by we'd be playing, and here he'd come, man. And he knew a lot about them down there in that part of the country, and he'd fill us in on what he knew as much as he could. And that helped out a lot over the years. Yeah, he's going to be sorely missed. He was a great guy.
He was, and I know Coach Burrell told me something I didn't know. He was the only basketball coach Northside High School ever had, because when they consolidated, he was the basketball coach from day one. More about Michael a little later on. Here we go, 1st down and 7. 1st down and goal. Here we go, into the end zone. It didn't take us but one play to bang it in there. The quarterback keeper and Damian Lossy just pounded it right up the gut.
Yeah, we blocked it. This thing was blocked for him to keep that football if at all possible, and it was simply because of the way they lined up. If you'll watch us down block this thing and then him follow that running back up in that hole, and it's almost like an isolation play for the quarterback.
So a good run by Damian, and now we come on for the extra point with 4:15 to play in the first quarter. Kicking it up and getting 2 in a row. Good job over there by our freshman Trevor Emery. And our Maroon Devils off to a fast start, a 14-0 lead. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Stay with us here on the Maroon Devils Network. Oh, okay, here we go. Fans, welcome back. 4:15 to play. 14-0 Maroon Devil lead. As again, our freshman Trevor Emery will kick it off. Another good kick. This was going to be taken at the 10-yard line. And North Henderson has speed. They are blessed with some of that speed. We saw it last year when we went to their place. They bring it out to the 28-yard line. But, Coach, talking about Michael Proctor, I remember this to this day. In 1977, we were still in the little old white house at the radio station up on the hill. And we were doing something we'd never done because we were getting into the playoff games, as you know. Mm-hmm. And so you coaches sent Michael, and I think Denny Rochester came up with him. But I'll never remember because Michael says we were going to record some promos, we called them. And Michael said, well, what am I supposed to say? And I said, Michael, I don't know. I've never done this either. So I said, you just say what's in your heart as we go to first down here. North Henderson flips it out to the right side. Oh, they got a first down out to the 40. Good play. But Michael got in there, and he never stumbled, and I'll never forget what he said. He said, I want our Maroon Devil fans to come up there because we're going to be between those rock walls. And I'll never forget that as long as I live. We're playing between those rock walls. And that stuck with me to this day, and that was what was in Michael Proctor's heart.
Oh, yeah, and Well, he was such a competitor, too, over the years, and that's why he was so successful as a coach.
Yeah. I mean, he was an outstanding athlete. He just believed in himself. He believed in his teammates, and he was the ultimate team player. Pass out to the right side. Now North Henderson flips it out there again. Trying to set up a wide receiver screen again. But this time we covered it pretty well. Getting over there is Hunter Call and a bunch of the linebackers and shutting it down after a 5-yard gain.
Yeah. Here's the Wolf front now. If you'll notice what's going on there, we got 3 down linemen. You use an extra linebacker in this, and you can break on the ball a whole lot better when you got this many receivers spread out. And we came up with this defense, like I said, in 2001 at halftime of the state championship game. And I stuck with it after that because it was just so good against these spread offenses because they can pick on you if you're not. And there's a good look at it right there.
Toby Taylor and Hunter Burrell was on that last tackle, and we run to the left side. This time
ball
it's
came out.
Big Nolan Brown helping on the tackle, and looks like they got it back, Coach, but that ball was loose.
Yeah, you gain linebackers in this scenario, and when you're at times, if you don't have the right personnel in the right places, playing them on the line of scrimmage, they're almost wasted, and that's one reason why we went to this. Now you can walk these linebackers up and make them defensive linemen at any point in time that you want to. But you start with a core of 3 defensive linemen, and they're able to take on blockers and fill gaps. That's their job. And what I used to call trash tackle. You grab anything you see that might have a football in its hand.
Nolan Brown and Jacob Langston on the stop.
There we go.
There's Big Jacob knocking the ball loose again. And let's see. Our Maroon Devils say we have it. The official agrees.
Yeah.
And we come up with a football, but Jacob hit that quarterback blind side right in the back.
Yeah, this is a blitz out of it right here. We used to call this a rocket blitz. We had a lot of fun with it over the years. And you'll see him coming off the edge right there. Wow. And he's unblocked because he's off the line of scrimmage when he starts. And they don't account for him.
I think Jacob actually got the football.
Probably did. Yeah, he did.
47, recovered it. But, wow, that was a great play, Coach. Nobody touched him. And now we have the football on a 14-0 lead. 2 minutes to play in the first quarter and a first down at their 41. Maroon Devils on a good roll.
There we go.
Here's another pop out to the right side. Here's Bryce Sane down to the 32-yard line. That's a 9-yard pickup.
This is old school. Now, we put the tight end and the twins into the same side, and what that does is make them adjust their secondary a little bit with their inside or their outside linebackers. They got to walk somebody out here, and when we ran that old school isolation. Everybody that's ever played ball here knows what I'm talking about. Block down, kick out, and lead through with the fullback and give it to the tailback, turn him loose.
And right now, North Henderson using kind of a 52 look on defense, kind of an old 52 look. Right now they have 5 guys up front and a couple of linebackers right behind them.
Yeah, that's as close as to a 52 as you'll see right there.
Now they move their linemen over, and this time we find a gap and we run through it for a first down. Good hole plunge there by Bryce Sane.
Yeah, we were attempting to veer block that, and they closed that one from the outside. We're getting a little closer every time that we run it, and they're actually optioning off of a linebacker. They're blocking everybody else, and they're trying to make that linebacker make a decision. Do I take this dive back or the quarterback?
Now they've got some good linebackers in there. Brandon Rhodes, 6'2", 185. Also Jacob Allison, 5'10", 225. And now the linebacker.
We're in a trade now. Probably going to see that.
Damian lost it backfield, but he picks the ball up, and we avoid the fumble, but he dropped it in the backfield, and we're going to lose from the 27. And the line of scrimmage is going to be back near the now they're going to spot it at the 34, so that's about a 7-yard loss. Second down and 17 coming up.
It looked on the replay there. It looked like Damon lost his foot in just a little bit. He wasn't sure where his feet were when he turned and opened up there to that was going to be an off-tackle play.
And that's some of that youth we've talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the youth and inexperience. So right now, split backs again, twins on the right side.
Quick pitch. Boy, there it goes.
Oh, he's got some room over there on the left side.
Don't outrun your block.
He's got a first down inside the 15-yard line. Good run again by Bryce Sane, and he did. He caught up and passed his blockers, I'm afraid.
Well, that's all right. At some point in time, I'm saying that because that's what I always said when I was coaching. And a good point, a rule right there is stay with that dude, stay with him as long as you can. Right there, and even if you got to stay in behind him a little bit, and then you can make your move once he gets upfield.
Out there trying to help him out was big Connor McCoy, 5'11", 225-pound junior. But unfortunately, there's a flag on the play here with only 8 seconds to play in the first quarter, and our Maroon Devils trying to add to this 14-0 lead. And the officials talking it over here.
Not real sure what they're discussing, but they're talking to some of the North Henderson coaches over there about something.
But, Coach, next week we come right back here. We've got Franklin. Then we have an open date. Then we start conference play right back here. So we've got 3 games in a row coming to town.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to be back here and playing these home games here.
And there's the penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct against North Henderson. That's why they were talking to the coaches over there. So somebody did something or probably said something.
Yeah, somebody's upset, and that'll generally get the attention of those fellas in those striped shirts.
And I've always said this, Coach, you can say it all you want to, but just don't let the refs hear you.
Well, some of them got what I used to call rabbit ears anyway, and I'd ask them, I'd say, do you really listen for all that? I mean, is that really what you're out here for? And they'd get irritated at me, but that was part of it.
First quarter is over. They're gonna let the clock run out. We're gonna take a 1-minute timeout. We'll be back after this 1-minute break here on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back as we begin the second quarter. Maroon Devils with the football, and let's see if we can punch it in. We tried to on the left side. That was Colby Taylor trying to run it in on the left side over there, Coach, and it got close down near the 2-yard line.
Yeah, and we're single blocking this thing right here. We're doubling it down. We're picking on this linebacker. You'll see the near linebacker there, and we're picking on him. And he's trying to take the dive man and the quarterback. And I never have been seeing anybody have too much success against a veer offense with one guy trying to read 2 different players.
Colby stays in there as the fullback this time in the I formation. Damian under center. He turns, hands off. Bryce straight up the gut, but he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play. So we're looking at 3rd down and goal to go from just outside the 3. And by the way, I want to say a big thank you to Toby Whitley. She sent us a nice message as we were talking about, of course, Toby's dad, Steve Moon, in the pregame show. Toby, thank you so much for that message, and thank you so much for always being there for us, just like Steve and Faye Moon have been so many times. This time we run 2 wide to the right side. Split backs again, but we got a whistle, and somebody wants a timeout, I think. The official wants a timeout.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what's up right there. Something about the clock.
So I think the clock was maybe supposed to be running, and it wasn't, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh. Good point there.
It's those 25-second clocks again. my big nemesis.
The play clock here at the stadium, fans, for those of you who can't see it here on camera, one said 16 seconds, one said 25 seconds. Now they roll the play clock and the game clock, and now they're all in sync.
Yeah, I used to threaten to blow them up with dynamite, and I just never did before I retired.
Here we go, split backs, we hand off. There's a touchdown into the end zone is Bryce Sane, and the Maroon Devils have a 20-0 lead.
Yeah, we tried to block that similarly the play before, and the big defensive lineman they had up there pretty much just pulled a submarine on us. He took out 2 of our offensive linemen by just throwing his body down in front of him. Well, he didn't get this attempt this time, so with the veer look right there, he got blocked instead of him being able to take our feet out from under us.
And my correction, I believe that was 32 Colby Taylor on that touchdown run, if I can correct that. So good job, guys, and big Nolan Brown in there helping out with the blocking at that center spot. And I tell you, Nolan is not a little guy himself at 6'2", 300 pounds.
That's right. He's a big fella.
And he comes by, it's honest, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He's got a big daddy.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say anything else about folks like that because I owe Michael Watson an apology. He ran me down this week, and he showed me how much weight he had lost. So I apologize, Michael. I told him I was going to have to apologize on air for saying he's eating too many of them nachos and cheese last year walking through the stadium here.
Oh, boy. I tell you what, Trevor Emery boots it up and in. He's 3 for 3 here tonight, and that scoreboard should say 21 instead of 14. We lead 21-zip. 10:37 to play here in this second quarter. We'll keep it right here. And, hey, Coach, sometimes it's fun to hear feedback from people listening because sometimes you don't know who's listening until you say something, and then you find out after the fact just who might be listening outside there in radio and internet land here. So sometimes it's always fun to hear who's listening out there. And if you say something about them, I guarantee you they're going to tell you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he and Michael, he'd lost some weight, so I had to brag on him a little bit, and my hat's off to him. And
he said he'd been working out some.
Yeah. I think his wife told him he was going to have to lose that weight, though. If the truth be told, I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Oh, boy. He's one of our great sponsors. He sponsors the Player of the Week, and this week it was Big Nolan Brown for his work last week. Our first week, Farley Insurance Player of the Game was sophomore running back Bryce Sane. Congratulations to those 2 guys. Right now there are several guys who are in the running, playing some good first-half football. Here comes the kick, going to be short at the 20-yard line. The North Henderson Knights take it. They look for a seam up the middle. This time they pop it out to the right sideline. And there's a good open field tackle by Jesse Waldrop. He's had a couple of good tackles tonight, Coach.
Yeah, that's a real good one, open field tackle right there. There's times where you just have to make a decision of whether you're going to try to just get him or you got to cut his legs out from under him.
And that was a good stop in the open field with 10:30 to play. Our Maroon Devils with a comfortable lead. And how much does having a lead here tonight, how much does that help these young Maroon Devils out there?
This is night and day. You know, it's a breath of fresh air to be able to for them to have a lead. I think it's the first. Well, it is the first lead we've had all year.
Yep.
So they're in a situation right now where hopefully they can take advantage of it.
That's it. Get some confidence and feel better about themselves. Oh, North Henderson running into a bunch of guys up front this time. We've got people up there like Hunter Burrell, also big Nick Millsap's plugging that hole and doing a good job. Matter of fact, lost a yard.
Yeah, and the great job of the defensive linemen right there by standing their ground and taking on these blocks. You know, we talked about them defeating blocks. You have to be able to defeat a block in order to make a tackle. And sometimes you just got to trash tackle, but you can't tackle anybody with somebody in your chest.
Oh, you said that right. Here comes the handoff to the right side this time. Oh, there's another good tackle. There is Ian Brooks and Jacob Langston. Good tackle.
That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. If you watch Langston right here, use his hands, get the blocker off of him, take a peek, and then leave it. And then when you come off of him like that, you can make plays. That's been missing on our Maroon Devil team. And Coach Blankenship knew that. He saw the same thing we saw, and they've been working on it. And so they're going to put that wolf front to the wide side of the field out there. Now,
so here comes the replay, and this time, our Maroon Devils in the wolf front. Back to throw. Their quarterback straight down the middle. It's going to be picked off. There's Colby Taylor with the INT. He's running it back to the 30, to the 25. He has a chance.
Nobody throw a block.
He's got it. Touchdown on the pick six. Colby Taylor for the Maroon Devils.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was perfectly played. He almost got beat over the top, but when he felt that receiver getting ground, he didn't have to look. He just opened his hips up and ran, and the ball came right to him. That's a great job of that wolf front right there. Yeah.
Wow. Stepped right in front of their big tight end, and he broke a good tackle right there and then took it all the way to the house. That was over 30 yards on the return.
Oh, yeah, great defensive play. And you've got to be able to play defense like that if you expect to win many football games. You've got to force some turnovers and take advantage, and we did both right there.
Outstanding work on defense. And again, here's a busy freshman tonight, Trevor Emery. And this time the snap got a little low. We got a penalty flag down, so hold on, guys. As, the snap came in, and we had kind of a tough time getting the ball down. But there is a flag.
Yeah, I'm not sure who I'm looking at here, whether or not that kick was good or not.
It looked bad to me. They called it good, but it looked, from my angle, of course, I'm half blind sometimes. Let's see if we can look at a replay and maybe get a chance to look at it. But the penalty here may...
I believe they're going to decline it and make the point good. Yeah.
Yep, penalty is declined. It is
illegal substitution. Okay.
Against North Henderson. They're going to call it good. So, hey, we'll take it 28-0. Maroon Devils on the lead with 9:08 to play here. And we're going to keep it right here as our guys are just about ready to come back. We appreciate Brandon Dehart and everybody up at WBHN 94.1 FM and 1590 AM for doing the good job tonight. Emma Dingle with Coach Neil Blankenship in the pregame show. And, Coach, it's nice to...
It went through.
I guess, Hey, they said it was through. We'll take it.
Yeah, it was. It cleared the right above the official's head. Matter of fact, he ducked to see which side of the pole it went on.
Because the snap was low, but our holder just got the ball down, and then Trevor was able to get it up and in there. So, hey, that's teamwork.
Yeah, we need some breaks like that. Lord knows we've not had any in a couple of weeks.
Oh, you said it. We have the breaks have gone the other team's way, but tonight we're getting some. And now the penalty is going to be enforced on the kickoff. We're going to be kicking off from the 45-yard line.
Okay, so that's what they did. Enforced it on the kickoff.
And now let's see if we can take advantage of this and pin North Henderson back inside the 10 possibly with 9:08 to play in the second quarter. And we're out to a big 28-zip lead. And I tell you, I wish North Henderson the best the rest of the way, but they have yet to score a point this season. Here comes the kickoff into the end zone. Nobody's going to attempt to bring this one back, and it's going to bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, we got a good job of getting upfield right there. We're starting to feel ourselves a little bit now and get a little bit of enthusiasm about what we're doing. Of course, it's hard to do that when you're getting your butt handed to you like we did last week. So,
oh boy,
my hat's off to these young men out here strapping these helmets back on, not giving up on each other, not playing the blame game, hopefully, and just coming back to work and getting busy and trying to make plays.
You said it, Coach. Work solves a lot of problems, doesn't it?
Well, it has to work itself out among the teammates, and I'm sure there's been a lot of talk in the locker room about those things.
And you know, Coach, I think tradition plays a lot of that because these kids know, hey, we've got to uphold this Maroon Devil tradition as North Henderson runs for 1 yard on first down because they know there are a lot of guys that played here before them who they're not going to play that blame game.
Yeah, they can't come in here, they're not walk into the stadium and look up here on this hill at what's happened up there on that scoreboard, the championships and the amount of the people that's come through, and they got to live in this county with those people. So somebody has to step up and be accountable, and that's what they're trying to do right now, and they're doing a good job of it so far.
No doubt about it. Talking about rivalries, big game tonight over at Canton at Pisgah and Tuscola. I understand their halftime drawing is up to $20,000. Here comes a pitch out to the left side, and North Henderson is very close to a first down out across the 30-yard line. So that's a pretty good halftime pot there, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and that's a 50-50. So that just means that's half. There's no telling how much it'll get up to finally with that many people in that stadium over there.
Oh, that's one of the greatest rivalries ever. Here comes North. They flip it out to the left side. Receivers got a little room and a couple of blocks, but that's okay. They make it happen, and that's one of their first downs tonight.
Yeah, then good open field tackle over and didn't let him get by you because you're out there on an island by yourself just like we are now to the wide side of the field, and you're going to attempt it again. He's trying to get the ball out there in their athletes' hands so they can make moves and get upfield, make us miss tackles, and so far they're struggling with it.
And they have an outstanding receiver over there, Coach. It's Alberto Martinez, number 7. He's 6'2", 190 pounds. He's a big target, and he's very fast. He can run.
Yeah, I read a little bit about him today, and they were talking about his abilities. And so right now we're fortunate that we're keeping him in front of us, and he's not yet got behind us. He almost did one time. I think it was him that ended up with the ball on the ground.
And we've got a similar guy over there. Jesse Waldrop is 6'2", so maybe he can't do that jump ball thing. Here they're looking at him again. They go right to him over on the left side, and there's Jesse who hits him first after a 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, but they're doing the right thing now. They're making him work for it. It brings up 3rd down. What he doesn't want to do is bite on a pump fake in a minute, and that young man run by him upfield, and they hit him for a TD then, because if he gets behind him, I'd say he could outrun him.
Yeah, this kid, Martinez, has a lot of speed, no question about it. 7:35 to play. We're in the second quarter with a 28-0 lead. The Knights look to the sideline for the play call. They're in no hurry, but 15 seconds on the play clock here. And they may have to use a timeout. They still haven't got a play called, and it's down to 10 seconds. And the quarterback's looking at the play clock going like, Coach, what am I going to do? They got to burn a timeout.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what was happening there. They were looking at 3 coaches standing there together, and nobody was telling them anything. So maybe that's something they want to do.
So now let's break 30 seconds down the line for a timeout. We'll be back right here on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back after the timeout. The Knights had to burn a timeout. Right now, the timeout's not a big issue. We have 2 left. They have 2 left before halftime. We have 7:13 to play. They have the ball, and they have right now a 3rd down. And they're still needed about 6, almost 7 yards. Pump fake. Here comes pressure, and there comes a sack in the backfield. And is that Colby Taylor again? That's Ian Brooks in there. Probably Ian with some of the tackle, and Jacob Langston.
Yeah, well, Coach Blankenship made a great call right there on 3rd down by running that blitz over the edge. You can see they're not accounting for him. And anytime they're going to put a back out to getting a pass route, they're going to leave that quarterback vulnerable. And it just makes sense to come off that edge. We used to call them ace and spy blitzes, and they're unaccounted for. Offensive linemen can't get to them, and backs if they're leaving that backfield, you're going to get a sack.
Well, that was Hunter Burrell coming in from that side over there. Nobody caught him, and Hunter got to the quarterback in a hurry. 6.5 minutes to play. They're going to have to punt it away. Last time they snapped it over their head. This time they punt it very short and toward the sideline. It takes a Maroon Devil bounce, and it's going to be blown dead at the 34-yard line of North Henderson. Coach, that was only about a 10, 12-yard punt.
Was it that far? I was trying to figure out right there.
Maybe.
Yeah, we can watch it right here. He snapped it from up here on the 30. Yeah.
It's going to be shorter than that, because it takes a bounce back inside the 40. That may be more like a 5-yard punt.
Yeah. Well,
he hit it at the 20, but the line of scrimmage was a 30. Yeah, about 5 yards.
Yeah, we need a break. We need all the breaks we can get right now, and we're playing better. Seeing a lot more emotion out of the players, seeing a whole lot more intensity, and doing fundamental things right now.
That's the key. Damian Lossy fires it over there, and boy, that was almost a dangerous play. They had a corner coming up in a hurry, and he almost had a chance to pick that one off, but Bryce Sane is going to be tackled for a huge loss of 6 behind the line.
Yeah, they're playing man coverage out there, and you can always tell because if when the ball snapped, they're looking dead at a receiver. They've got him man, and he felt Bryce giving ground, and he made a good play there. That North Henderson defender did. He broke on the ball, and that's one of those that you kind of hold your breath and hope they don't pick it off.
Yeah, that was close, and Bryce gets up. He had nowhere to go. Second down now. We need 17. 5:42 to play before halftime. We have split backs and twins to the left side. And we have a whistle and a timeout. Neil Blankenship and Jeff Marr and the boys down on the sidelines. They want to talk it over, and we'll take a 30-second break while they talk it over with our score. Maroon Devils 28 and North Henderson 0. We'll be back on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back after the timeout. Here we go. Damian Lossie in trouble in the backfield. He hits the line of scrimmage and got a yard or two. So he got some positive yards as our Maroon Devils are trying to come back after we lost some yards on that wide receiver screen over there. But, Coach, right now, North Henderson putting some heat on us.
Yeah, and we had a wheel route called over there and had a receiver running wide open. Damian couldn't get enough depth to throw it, but you can see out here when we break we're breaking to that flag back in there. It wasn't a wheel route. I was stand corrected, but we had a receiver breaking into the open there. That could have been big if he could have given some ground and got rid of that ball.
Oh, no question. Now we're looking at 3rd down and 15 with 5 minutes left to play here before halftime, but a good 28-0 lead. Split backs, receivers on each side, and right now a 5-man front from North Henderson. And looks like we're going to have to use another timeout. Boy, Jeff Marr is not happy about something. He runs out there in a hurry to try to get this corrected. And Jeff Marr is giving his offense an earful right now with 4:51 to play. He saw something, Coach, he didn't like, and he was out there like a bullet.
It's tempo. I guarantee you that's what it was. He saw them break the huddle and not get themselves to the line of scrimmage in a form that says we're here to play the whole entire game, all 4 quarters. And that bothers coaches. And I know that's something that Coach Marr takes a whole lot of pride in. He wants to see this. He wants to see up-tempo, just getting up there, getting ready and wear these people down. If you let these folks get any type of momentum whatsoever, and this is 3rd and long, and he wants to see a little bit more intensity is what he's looking for.
Hey, there we go. This time we're up to the line of scrimmage, and now, of course, with the timeout, we have to wait till North Henderson gets back. Now we're ready to go. 3rd down, we need 15. Same set. Split backs, twin receivers. Damian rolls, has pressure, fires, got his man. It's going to be short, getting about 7 yards down to the 33-yard line. Pass complete to Jacob Langston. But, hey, we're kind of in 4-down territory here, Coach, so we're going for it on 4th and 8.
Yeah, I think that was kind of what was in the plan here, unless Coach Blankenship changes his mind because of the mere fact that we've had some pretty good momentum, and hopefully we can pick up these eight or so yards right here. But Damon did a good job of standing in there tall, finding his receiver in the curl right there. Linebacker was too wide for North Henderson, and he found the soft spot and put it right in there to him.
Got trips on the right side this time. Way over there is Hunter Call on the sideline. Damian looking over there, has pressure. Oh, he's going to be sacked. Oh, he gets away from one defender. He runs to the left side, has some room. Down the sideline, cuts to the 25, and he's got a first down.
I believe he got it. He
what
sure
a play.
Did. Yeah. Well, we need his feet, and he got dinged up last week and hurt his shoulder running with the football, but shows a lot of poise. He and Thomas Allen both got dinged up.
Boy, they had him by the jersey right there at the 44, but he got loose.
Yeah. Man, we've got to have plays like this. This is going to help define this team the rest of the year.
Damian Lossie, good fake right there to pick up just enough for the first down. Down at the North Henderson 23. 4 minutes to play here in the first half. And our Maroon Devils with a new set of downs. First down and 10 now. Got a man in motion over to the right side, Jacob Langston. Handoff goes to the left side. There's a penalty flag down. Bryce Sane down to the 10. Still going. They finally knock him down at the 8-yard line, but a penalty is probably going to bring it back.
That's right, in the area of holding out here again on this edge. We did a great job blocking this off-tackle play. It's a blast play, off-tackle play, and we block down, we kick out, and pull it through. So I'm not real sure who's going to get called for it unless it was the guard that was pulling.
So good work there by Bryce Sane, but it's going to come back. And we've got a penalty against the Maroon Devils with 3:46 to play.
May have been on Hughes there because he when he came around there, he got his pads on him, but as the young man slid off, he stuck his arm out there, and like I said, that official's standing right there. He's going to see it. You can't get away with anything out here on these edges.
This time we got twins to the right side. Got a wing over here on the left as Ian Brooks lines up on the left. First down and 15. This time from the pistol, Damian turns, hands off. It's going to be Bryce again, trying to zigzag and get some room. Got a couple of yards, and that's going to be all. In there on the tackle is going to be their big guy, Curtis Matthews, one of their senior defensive linemen.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a good look out of the pistol set, pulling both guards. This is a fundamental play that all of the people who run this type of offense, they run this thing a lot. And we saw it last week. Smoky Mountain ran this thing to precision.
They did. They really had momentum, and they executed well. Their linemen did a good job providing lanes for the running backs.
No, yeah, they just they outplayed us on the line of scrimmage. We knew it. Everybody knew it that saw it, and so they went. Maroon Devils have gone to work. You can tell by even the way they line up. They're lining up better.
Second down and 15.
There
Pass is going to be in and out of the hands, incomplete over on the sideline. Almost caught over there by Jesse Waldrop, but just couldn't hang on. He was hit pretty good.
Yeah, he was dedicated to that football right then. He put everything he had into it and tried to make that play. And I don't know if that play is makeable when you got somebody releasing upfield as quick as this corner's coming up right here, and he sees it.
Got a timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here with 2:54 to play. Got an updated score right now. Murphy leads Central Davidson, but it's a 14-7 ball game. 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. And I know Central Davidson is not having an outstanding season. Some other scores. North Buncombe leads Smoky Mountain 12-6. Right now, a tight one. West Henderson leading East Henderson 14-13 tonight. Raven Gap leading Franklin 14-7. Sean Brooks, by the way, the coach down there at Raven Gap, so he's coming home tonight at Franklin. Mitchell leading Trinity Academy 12-9. Rosman over Madison 14-6. Polk over RS Central 12-zip. Watauga right now shutting out Avery 21-0. And Andrews is all over Gladiator Sports Academy 32-zip. So, Coach, the Smoky Mountain Conference looking a little better tonight.
Oh, yeah. Smoky Mountain Conference had 2 pretty tough weeks, and so it's good to see us coming on. It's generally the way it happens too, because you have to play these people, and some of them are darn good, and you're going to take it on the chin.
Oh boy, and we know how good Tuscola is, and they're playing Pisgah right now. Pisgah ranked number 1 in Western North Carolina, and last time we looked, it was 7-7. I know a lot of folks over there paying attention to that 50-50 jackpot. Third down, we need 14. Damian fires over the middle. Got his man. There's Big Jacob, and he's got a first down. Jacob Langston, he stretched all of his 6'2" up there, and he got it.
That's guts right there. That young man, Damian, led him just a little bit too much, but that's all right. He got the ball upfield where it needed to be, but he stuck his arms out there knowing he was going to get hit.
Yeah.
He knows it's coming. He could feel it, but he concentrated and sucked that ball right in there into his chest, and you can't do it any better than that.
That was just a great catch by Jacob Langston, and he had to use every inch of his 6'2" frame out there.
Yeah,
first down now.
I love it. That looked great.
Good play.
Tight end and twins on the same side, wide side of the field, going to run the isolation again.
Oh, right up the gut.
Bryce.
Touchdown into the end zone. 22, Bryce Sane, and straight out of the I formation, Coach. That was a pretty play.
And he not only, the blocks were great up front, and you can watch it right here. We're putting bodies on bodies and pinning them right there like they're supposed to be. Getting out, see Hughes there, getting up on that linebacker. Brooks is trying to find the other linebacker, and he makes one miss him there in the backfield, and he makes a great run.
Outstanding run. Jacob Langston shaking up on that play. Now for the point after, it's up, and it's going to be perfect. And perfect tonight again for our freshman, giving us a 35-0 lead with 2:25 to play. Fans, stay tuned. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back here on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. Our Maroon Devils with a big 35-0 lead here. No second quarter let down here tonight with 2:25 to play before halftime as our freshman Trevor Emery is going to kick it off. And he kicks it straight down the middle of the field. Going to be taken at the 12 by the Knights. Out to the 20, 25, in traffic at the 29. And he's going to be brought down at about the 30-yard line down there by Ian Brooks and company with good coverage. But, Coach, right now, our defense still pitching that shutout.
Well, it's great to see. It doesn't even look like the team. And I know right now that North Henderson's maybe struggling offensively, but I'm seeing our players come off blocks, make tackles, make plays out there in the passing game, and do things that we have not done this year, period. And so right now we're going to back up off of them a little bit and try to get in a prevent and try to put a little bit of pressure on this quarterback and make them do something with the football like that right there. Make them run it. Keep it on the ground, eat that clock up.
And they got absolutely nothing with Nick Millsaps in there on the tackle. He was one of those guys. Also in there is big 44, Thomas Allen on the tackle. And a four-man front, no gain.
Yeah, they get a little bit of frustration there from the North Henderson group. They're trying to a lot of jawing going on out there, and I'm not real sure what they're they're even going to line up on the football. I don't know what they're doing. They're kind of walking around. Of course, they got 25 seconds. I'm just not used to seeing that. At no huddle, they generally do it so they can go faster, but it seems like they're slowing themselves down quite a bit.
They got some huge linemen up front, Coach. I know Curtis Matthews, 77, 5'10", 295. They have good size up front.
Yeah, we're switching corners here to the field, and that's a good idea.
They hand off, running to the left side now, straight out of the shotgun backfield for a couple of yards, and that's all. Third down at 8 now coming up. Good open field tackle over there again by our linebackers.
Yeah, we're doing everything better up front right now. We're making the tackles when we get to them. We're not reaching for them. We're putting bodies on them. You can see the linebacker getting caught up a little bit in it right there, but the safety able to just didn't run and take a shot at him, let him come to him. Great open field tackle there by Allen.
Thomas Allen, another tackle. He's had a busy night tonight.
Boy, I'm glad he's back too, man. I was worried about him last week when he got dinged up.
He's one of our linebackers, and got to have good linebacker play on defense. Third down at 8. 3 wides this time for the Knights of North Henderson. They throw it down the left side up for grabs. Going to be knocked away. Good coverage over there by the secondary. It looks like Daniel Ammons. Was that Daniel or was that Jesse Waldrop?
I don't know. We got a penalty flag over here, and I think it's because the receiver was covered up, and that made him ineligible for a pass route, and he came out of there, and that may make him that may be an ineligible receiver downfield.
So, and that was 16. So that was Daniel Ammons, one of our seniors over there. Couldn't tell it was 15 or 16, but the flag down, and that's going to hurt us a little bit. 36 seconds to play before halftime. Let's see if we can hold them down and keep that 0 on the scoreboard now. Coming off is Nolan Brown. He gets a little – I tell you, when you got so many guys, we got 8 players that play both ways, Coach, and they're going to back up with that penalty.
Yeah, that was an ineligible receiver. He was in their alignment. You always check with that official about who's up and who's back, and they were both on the line of scrimmage, and that you can't have that because the inside receiver then becomes ineligible.
So they got penalized. Now they're looking at third down and about 13. 36 seconds to play before halftime. And there's still some confusion on the field. The officials still talking things over. Coming up, we're going to play some of the highlights of the first half. We're going to replay, if you will, some of those highlights. And now coming out of the lineup, big Nick Millsaps gets a break. And Brent Jackson, big sophomore, coming on in his place.
Nice, bringing it back.
Now they're going to decline.
Okay, that's a smart move on Coach Blankenship's part. I didn't know whether he could even decline that one. Yep. I don't think they ever gave me an option. But that's a good idea to make it fourth down, not give them another chance with the ball in their hands.
That's it. Now they're going to have to punt it away instead of having a chance on third down.
They don't have near enough players on the field.
Well, they're struggling right now just to get lined up. Now the other player, the 11th player, if you will, comes on the field, and that's your fast wide receiver over there, Alberto Martinez.
Now it's going to be a delay of game.
Yep.
He called a timeout before he didn't want to back up any further, and I don't blame him. If you got a timeout, you can't carry it in with you, so use it.
Fans, don't forget, coming up next week, we're going to be right back here with Franklin. We'd like to remind everybody, all our Maroon Devil Network video and audio is free. You don't have to pay a thing to watch it. And, of course, if you're listening in on radio, obviously that's free as well on 94.1 FM and 1590 AM, WBHN with Brandon D. Hart. And we appreciate all the good work they do. And that FM has really broadened their signal, and you can pick them up a lot better these days.
Yeah, I like the programming. We listen to it all the time now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad it's all back up and operational, and everybody's doing a great job with it. It's been a real big addition to the county.
That's a classic country, I think they call it.
Yeah, I like it. That's that old school stuff, man. I love it.
I'm with you. 35 zip. Now we come back to live action. They're going to punt it away. Let's see if we can bring it back. Snap is low. Big rush. Line drive punt. Bryce is going to let this one just die right at the 40-yard line. Probably a wise move. They had good coverage on that punt, Coach.
Yeah, and you don't want to handle it in this point time in the game with only 28 seconds left, because of anything could happen out there, and especially if it's a crazy-looking punt like that one was and it's tumbling. Those are hard to handle.
Oh, boy, they are. Our field is in good shape, even though I know we had soccer earlier this week, but we had a little bit of rain before the game, but now it's just a really nice night.
Yeah, the field looks great, and it's a full-time job just keeping this field up here, and that's part of my job I always kind of enjoyed.
Like to ride that tractor.
Well, what I liked was being up here and nobody bothering you, basically, because nobody wanted to come up here and mow. You know, who wants to come mow when you had to do it at home anyway?
There we go. Bryce Sade rolling out to the left side. He picks up about 3. Clock is still running, and hey, I know what you mean. You can get out here and just kind of think and don't have to worry about telephones and all that kind of stuff.
That was it. The only thing I had to worry about was lightning. The lightning hit that flagpole down there one day when I was coming from the field house in, and I put that thing in high gear and got back to the field house and stayed there.
Fans, that's the way the first half is going to end. There will not be another play run here as the clock runs out, and our Maroon Devils right now feeling pretty good about themselves, and they should, going into the locker room with a 35-0 lead here at Swain County High School. We're going to take a 2-minute break down the line. Then we'll come back and we'll have some of those replays for you. We're going to be listening and watching the Swain County High School Marching Band. They're going to be playing for you live here at halftime. So stay with us. We'll be back in 2 minutes on the Maroon Devils Network.
Hello, Maroon Devil fans. This is Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, asking you to come out and support our Maroon Devils during this upcoming sports year. I know what it's like to wear the maroon and white and the dedication to excellence it takes to reach your goals. Like so many of the teammates I had the honor of playing with, together we accomplished some great things. I have taken the same dedication and lessons I've learned from the playing fields with me to Farley Insurance to become the best insurance agent I can be, and then some. Whether it's home, auto, life, health, business, or commercial, Farley Insurance is dedicated to making sure we take care of you and your family. Come be a part of the largest independently owned insurance company in the Smoky Mountain Conference, located at 264 U.S. Highway 19, Bryson City, North Carolina. Numbers 828-366-2555. Again, 828-366-2555. I'm Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, your hometown insurance agent. And go Big Maroon.
Fans, thanks again to Michael Watson of Farley Insurance. He's helping sponsor our broadcast this year. Our 2 players of the week so far have been Bryce Sane the first week. Last week, Nolan Brown was the player of the game. And I'm sure we're going to have, I'd say, maybe a hard time picking out the player of the game after tonight's game, Coach, because we've had a lot of outstanding performances in the first half.
Well, we struggled the first 2 weeks, like we said, trying to find out who we were, and I think everybody was waiting on somebody else to make plays, and it just wasn't happening
fans,
for us.
This is Michael Watson with Farley Insurance.
No doubt about it.
Come out and support our
right now, the band is going to be on the field in a few minutes, and they've got every cheerleader, I think, in the county out there, varsity and JVs and youth league cheerleaders out there. And Coach, that's a band of cheerleaders out here performing at halftime for us.
That's a lot of hair. When I look down through there, that's what I see. There's a lot of hair down through there bouncing around.
So here are a couple of highlights from our first half, fans, as we see the split backs, Coach, and you can see good execution.
Yep, and now it's just a matter of open field, and there's a young defender took himself out of it by getting upfield too far, and Bryce just made one heck of a move inside of him and puts it in the end zone.
29-yard touchdown run there for Bryce Sane. One of our best plays of the first half here, as we again look at what we're doing now on defense. And of course, North Henderson had a tough time with this punt. The snap sails over the punter's head, and then it was chaos for them after that.
Yeah, they have a hard time trying to find that. And what the problem is the only one that knows it's a fumble is the punter and 1 or 2 of these upbacks right there, and we all see it. None of theirs did, because their backs are turned.
And Jacob Langston got on the football, recovered it for our Maroon Devils, and here we go, getting ready to score near the goal line.
Yeah, great blocks up front. You can see us coming off the football there a whole lot better and more explosion, hitting the veer lane and putting the thing in there the way you're supposed to.
Damian Lossy running it in with now the Maroon Devil Marching Band getting ready to play. But right now, let's see another great play from the first half. This time, our defense getting it done.
Now here's the blitz off the edge. Where Langston comes, he's unblocked. There again, there are no backs back there to pick him up. He's unaccounted for coming off that edge. He's out there in space, and he's able to make that kind of play because nobody's there.
And that was a good play. He not only sacked the quarterback and knocked the ball loose, he also picked up the fumble. And now let's switch live to listen to our Swain High Maroon Devil Marching Band here from Swain County High School tonight. Wow. At halftime, and they're getting lined up, getting all the instruments in place, and they'll be performing for you here in just a minute. I know we have a lot of band parents here who want to hear their kids play, just like the football parents want to see their kids play. The band parents are the same way. Coach, they practice all week long too, don't they?
Yeah, and she's a slave driver. I'm telling you what. Now, I used to ease off down through there and during the summertime, and they'd be having their camp, and whoo, boy.
They work, huh?
She worked them.
And we're going to be seeing some of the results of that here tonight as they're all getting lined up in the proper spot. And now let's check in and listen and watch the Maroon Devil Marching Band live here tonight from Swain County High School at halftime, where our Maroon Devils lead 35-0 over North Henderson High School.
Great job, Ben. The opening number of this year's show, Fly to the Moon.
Great halftime show put on by our Maroon Devil marching band as they leave the field here with a 35-0 lead at halftime for our Maroon Devil football team. We're going to take another 2-minute break, and we'll come back and talk more about the first half and get ready for the second half, so keep it right here. We'll be back in just 2 minutes here on the Maroon Devils Network.
Hello, Maroon Devil fans. This is Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, asking you to come out and support our Maroon Devils during this upcoming sports year. I know what it's like to wear the maroon and white and the dedication to excellence it takes to reach your goals. Like so many of the teammates I had the honor of playing with, together we accomplished some great things. I have taken the same dedication and lessons I've learned from the playing fields with me to Farley Insurance to become the best insurance agent I can be, and then some. Whether it's home, auto, life, health, business, or commercial, Farley Insurance is dedicated to making sure we take care of you and your family. Come be a part of the largest independently owned insurance company in the Smoky Mountain Conference, located at 264 U.S. Highway 19, Bryson City, North Carolina. Numbers 828-366-2555. Again, 828-366-2555. I'm Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, your hometown insurance agent. And go Big Maroon.
Fans, welcome back here from Swain County Memorial Stadium and Boise Dietz Field. Let's check some other scores around at halftime. One number that people over in Canton are really interested in, that 50-50 raffle at halftime is now up to $32,500, Coach, in that big Pisgah-Tuscola showdown.
That's amazing.
That's just unbelievable. And they've got a great ball game going on. Pisgah leading 10-7 at halftime. But you know what's really amazing? The last count, Pisgah leads that series 27 games to 26 games and one tie. That's how close that rivalry is.
Yeah, and it's been a while since Tuscola's gotten them.
5 years. And they don't like that, I tell you. Some other scores in the second quarter. Hendersonville over Asheville, 27-18. I tell you, Hendersonville has a really good team this year. Robbinsville pasting Inca right now, 48-6. Reynolds over Owen, 27-9 in the second quarter. Kings Mountain over Robertson. Wow, that's just kind of a surprise, 28-0. Robertson had a great team last year. Right now, Patton leading McDowell 21-7 in the second quarter. Smoky Mountain over North Buncombe 13-12. That game at halftime. Right now, West Henderson over East Henderson 21-13 at the half. And we understand that Robbinsville is, again, leading big. Also, Rosman right now behind at halftime, 21-14 in their ball game. But Andrews all over the Carolina Gladiators, 45-0. Andrews looking good, so looks like they'll pick up their first win of the season. Yeah, let's see some more highlights here before we get the second half underway. But good to see James Phillips and the Wildcats picking up a win here tonight. And here go our Maroon Devils getting ready for the end zone here, Coach, with Damian under center.
Yeah, this is right here just single blocking, a dive play with just handing the football to him, making sure he got it into his belly right there, and he can get his hands wrapped around it, get in the end zone. Nothing fancy about it, just blocking people at the line of scrimmage.
That was Colby Taylor on the touchdown. Here comes another great hit at the line of scrimmage by big Jacob Langston.
Yeah, that's what we've been missing right there, seeing them defeat blocks, get off of them, and making plays. And that's got to come more from your heart and head than it does your body. Once you realize you're being blocked like that, you've got to start defeating those blocks to make. You can't make a tackle with somebody in your chest.
Here comes North Henderson throwing it out to the left side, and this one is going to be complete, but a good open field tackle over there this time by Jesse Waldrop. We've seen Jesse and Daniel Ammons both over there playing that side really well.
Yeah, good open field tackle, and you've got to make those or they're big plays every time.
Here comes the quarterback throwing it right over there again, and this time we knocked the ball loose, and the ball is going to be out of there. So again, good work over there by the defense, Bryce Sane and company, and they have a veteran quarterback over there working for them. That's Jarrett Jostad, number 18. He's a senior.
Yeah, great move off the edge. There's that blitz again coming from the boundary. The best place to run that is from the boundary, because they don't have as many yards. He can adjust quick on the run if you come off the boundary to make that kind of play on a blitz.
Here comes Damian throwing it right over the middle. There's the great catch we saw in the first half, again by Jacob Langston.
Yeah, and that hurts right there. And he knew it was going to hurt, but he hung in there, and that's not fun right there.
Yeah, when you throw the football in the crowd, it's the receiver that takes the hit.
Yeah, and especially if it's up over his head like that.
His ribs are wide open for that defender.
That great isolation play we ran right there got everybody blocked at the line of scrimmage. Fullback was looking for the other linebacker who never showed, and Bryce just followed in right into the end zone.
Bryce Sane with another touchdown run. But looking at some of the first half stats here, Coach, one that really jumped off the page to me for North Henderson, 11 carries rushing for minus 27 yards.
Yeah,
that's a good stat.
Not had much success with that. The only thing they really had any success at is throwing that ball out there and trying to nitpick those yards. And what we've got to we can live with that. As long as we keep them in front of us, make tackles, we can live with that. What we don't want to do is let them get by us and get burnt deep.
And so far tonight, they haven't done that. They're 4 of 7 passing for only 30 yards and 1 interception here tonight. So far tonight for the Maroon Devils offensively, we've run 29 plays, 159 yards. On the ground, we're 26 carries, 136 yards. Passing, we're 2 of 3 for 23 yards. Haven't passed a whole lot, but our running game, as we know, our Maroon Devils have always been able to run that football.
Yeah, and all they've done is went back to work. I mean, it's that simple. There's nothing. They've not changed a whole lot of stuff. They've probably looked at some personnel and doing some things a little different with them. Doing a lot of base blocking. I like it when they get in those eye backs and run those isolations in there. We've not had much success with that this year, and we're seeing some now.
So our Maroon Devils here with what we hope is a great first half that will lead into a great second half. And I'm sure the coaches have talked to them about that. Coach, as you get ready for a second half, you don't want to see that letdown. Even though you have a big lead, obviously you want to come out and still have that intensity.
Yeah, you want to play this ball game like you're just starting it. It's 0-0, and you want to see a lot of intensity, and you want to see a lot of moving around. Any penalties are aggressive-type penalties. You know, I used to tell our kids, you know, I can eat a pass interference call every now and then if they're throwing the ball up the field, or I can eat sometimes even a late hit. But you've got to be getting after the football for that to happen. If you're not, we don't want any holding penalties. We don't want to be jumping off sides. And those are the kind of things that have bit us in the first 2 games of the season.
Here we go. We kick it off for the second half, and they're going to bring it back from the 10-yard line as Trevor Emery kicks it for the Maroon Devils. They have a nice return out to the 30, 35, and finally getting some hands on him. Jesse Waldrop tripped him up, But a good return and their best start here offensively at their 38-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, they got pretty good field position. You got a good return there. We ran by it just a little bit, got a little overly aggressive and tried to get upfield too much. And a lot of times you just got to get yourself under control and not be running by the football. You see a lot of our players right there standing and watching him run because they don't have a chance of getting that angle on him to make the play. He's already up in his zone blocking right there that way they tried to block that thing.
And a good job again by Bryn Jackson. And again, Jesse Waldrop coming up there for the hit. And here we go, 1st and 10. North Henderson back in that pistol again, 3 wide, 2 on the left, 1 on the right, and they hand off and run. They pop it outside, actually, and the running back has about 8 big yards out to the 45-yard line, one of their best running plays of the night.
Yeah, he kind of set that up, the running back did, in that zone blocking scheme by diving towards the line of scrimmage right here, making the linebackers commit to that inside alley. You can see it right there, and then he pops it back outside, and we miss a tackle at the line of scrimmage there, and he's upfield into the secondary.
Doing a good job over on the hit over there is Bryce Sane. 2nd down now, and the Knights need a couple. And they're going to run to the other side, but this time they cut it right back outside the C gap and run it back up there close to a 1st down near the 47-yard line. Let's see if it's going to be enough, or they're going to mark it just about a foot short.
Yeah, that's pretty much basically the same play to the other side. Had a little bit of success with it, running it to the tight end side. They're trying to pull a guard around and lead up in, and we just we missed a tackle there at the line of scrimmage in C gap, just like you were talking about.
So now it's going to bring up 3rd down. They need about a foot. Going to line up again in that pistol. Twins on the left, and they hand off and run to the left side this time. And, Coach, I think they've got the 1st down. We push them back, but I think his forward momentum might be enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, and we got to get it. We can't let them gain any type of momentum right here. When you got them down, you got to put your foot on their neck and hold them there. And we're letting them come up, get upfield a little too easy right here. Same play, run it to the other side. They just keep folding the guard over the top, let him be the lead blocker, and right there we should have had him knocking him back at the line of scrimmage.
So
we got to keep our pad level down and get off those blocks.
1st down and 10 for the Knights. They're going to line it up at the 47, just underway in the 3rd quarter. 10:15 to play, but our Maroon Devils right now up 35-0. But North Henderson with their best drive of the night underway right now, getting this 3rd quarter started. They run to the right side, but there's a good open field tackle. The linebacker, Charlie Lambert, knifed through for the tackle.
Now, he missed him a minute ago when he did that. He missed him, but now it's the exact same look right here offensively. They're just going to keep running this thing over. That's pure zone blocking right there, and then he was unaccounted for then because he was at 2nd level coming up.
Boy, he ran right through that wide open A gap and just nailed him in the backfield. That's Charlie Lambert, 52, one of our juniors. Good play. Now checking out of the lineup is going to be 16, Daniel Ammons. Well, actually flips over here to the left side, and Jesse Waldrop flips over to the right side. They have 2 quick receivers on each side. They're going to throw it out to the left side, and there's one of them. He's hit and falls forward to the 43-yard line. Not enough for a 1st down, but still a good game.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same route we started seeing last week against Smoky Mountain. There's a penalty flag on the other side. Is it he runs an inside cut right there from the outside in, and a lot of times if you're chasing a receiver coming from inside out, he gets behind you, and that's exactly what happened to our linebackers right there.
And again, that was Alberto Martinez, their 6'2" senior, and there is a penalty flag. Let's see what the officials are going to do with this. They're going to mark it off against the Knights of North Henderson.
Ineligible again. Somebody else was covered up. That's a problem when you run a lot of these several wide receiver sets is them not getting the proper alignment where they're supposed to be on the line of scrimmage, whether they're on or off. And a lot of times, a lot of people think that's offensive lineman upfield. It's not necessarily. It's just a receiver that has not lined up to make himself an eligible receiver.
Yeah. And coaches, as you know better than anybody, those are the kind of mental penalties that just drive you nuts.
Oh yeah, that's crazy because that's the stuff you work on at practice every day.
Right now, 2nd down. This time Twins on the left, 1 on the right, and he moved a little early, but no flag. Down the middle.
That's ineligible that time too because the tight end was covered up on that side. Somehow they got away with that one.
I tell you, Coach, that Martinez didn't want to go up in the air for that ball because it was a little high, but he didn't go up for it. There were people all around him. And if he had jumped, he might have got that one, but he had a guy right on his backside ready to hit him.
Well, he was coming across the middle, and old coaches used to say there's two types of receivers, them that don't like to go across the middle and them that won't go across the middle. So there.
Third down now. They need about 19. This time they're going to operate from the pistol. They've used this set most of the night. Twins on one side, a single receiver to the other side. They throw it out of the backfield, and it's going to be caught but out of bounds. Not even close to a first down up near the 45-yard line. And again, good pressure on the quarterback in there by Thomas Allen.
Yeah, making him get rid of that ball on time, not letting him sit back there and look for other receivers. And he went with his first choice, was the inside receiver coming to the outside and using the sideline here as your 12th defender. Pin him against the sideline and don't let him turn upfield.
Now here's a dangerous man coming on to punt. That's the receiver we were talking about, Alberto Martinez, who is really fast. So somebody's got to contain him in case he decides to take off with the football.
Yeah, they'll be coming off the edges, watching him pretty close right here, making sure that he punts his football on time.
And he punts it away, got a penalty flag down. Bryce is going to let this hit, and it's going to roll down inside the 20-yard line. But again, a penalty flag might change this a little bit.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't know exactly what that was. Yeah, Bryce was trying to make up his mind right there, and he really wanted to handle that football. He really did, but that thing bounces funny ways when it hits. It never bounces in a straight line for some reason.
Yeah, I saw after that first hop, Coach, I thought he was going to grab it and take off with it, but he decides to let it go. He almost went after it. But
yep. He thought better of it.
Probably a good idea.
So let's see what this is going to be.
Oh, they're going to wave the flag off. So pick up the flag, and we'll have the football 1st and 10 with 8:28 to play and 35-0 lead. I'll tell you, Coach, we've got a good crowd on hand here for our first home game, and we hope a lot more fans come out next Friday when Franklin comes to town, because that's an old rivalry that goes back a lot of years.
Yeah, they'll bring a big crowd. We know that. So hopefully if we can get this, if we can last two more, the rest of this quarter and the fourth quarter and really make a showing for ourselves, people will take a little more interest in it and make sure that they show up to watch and see what happens.
So now our Maroon Devils come out with a little different wrinkle offensively. Twins on the left, Damian Lossy in the pistol. He's going to run it all the way, starts to pitch, but his pitch man was actually in front of him, and he's going to carry out to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, good thing he didn't try to pitch that ball. There were just too many hands out there, and he's putting pressure on him by doing a good job with it. But, he gets his pitch back, gets just a little bit out in front of him, and he decides wisely to just eat that one, and with the yardage he's already picked up.
Open field tackle from Brandon Rhodes of North Henderson. Well, the play clock is all messed up. It was down to 5, but it's just messed up. I guess that's the best way to put it. So now it's actually reset once we're up to the line of scrimmage. So that's got to drive you nuts.
I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it.
This time, flipping over to the right side, big Jacob Langston. He lines up strong side right. We run it strong side right. And we got a yard. I think we got the first down. Very close. North Henderson closed quickly on that, Coach, for a pretty good tackle.
Yeah, it was when we traded the tight end over, we tried to run the isolation in there. North Henderson adjusted to the trade right here and played inside gap technique on us right there, and we almost got it across through there, but it came from the backside and made the play.
They're not going to give us the first down. It's third down and maybe less than a foot. They're not even going to measure. Third down and very short. Now at the 27-yard line, Damian Lossy looking at a blitz coming. He hands off to the right side. We run by the blitz and get the first down out to the 34.
Yeah, that's like two trains passing in the night. That's the trouble with blitzes from linebacker inside right there is when you walk them up the line of scrimmage, they get counted. And we just blocked down. We veer blocked down. And, I always thought that if you're going to blitz an inside linebacker, wait till the ball snapped. If you walk them up, they get them an offensive lineman counted. He's now a defensive lineman, so it's just a simple veer block him down, and there's the veer lane. We did a good job recognizing guard on that side, did a great job seeing it, and made a great block into that A gap.
Talking about our linemen, got an official timeout now. They're ready to go. But our linemen up front, Chase Hughes, the right guard, Connor McCoy, the left guard. Our tackles, Nick Millsaps, Colby Kirkland, and our center, Nolan Brown. And they're getting it done tonight. They're having their way on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, a whole lot more push up there, a whole lot more coming off the ball quicker and getting people blocked at the line of scrimmage like that right there.
Good work up front. This time, carrying on the play is going to be Bryce Saint again.
Run the veer back to the weak side that time just to check and make sure that when I say weak side, it's to the tackle side, guard and tackle side. Good veer blocks right there. Backside linebacker has to come across and make the play. If he's having to come all the way across, you're getting positive yardage.
Good work up front right now. Second down. We need 6. Right now, the Maroon Devils controlling this clock, having an hour away on this drive. This time, Damian Lossey is going to be stopped for basically no gain at the 38-yard line as they penetrated, got pretty good coverage in there. Coming up again, Brandon Rhodes, their linebacker, on the tackle.
Yeah, he did a great job closing on it right there, and he just stood there and waited to see what we were going to do with the football. And when Damian pulled it, he just fell off on him, and then the backside came down on him.
Third down now, 5.5 to play, third quarter. We need 6. We're lining up at the 38-yard line. Got to get it up to the 44. Twins on the right side. Tight end lines up strong side to the right. And the I formation. Damian turns and tosses. Bryce trying to turn the corner. Breaks a tackle. And I think he's got the first down. He shed one tackle, coach, and he did a good job up front.
Yeah, that's a great scheme right there. We traded over, and when they made that adjustment and they started shifting those defensive linemen, we ran a toss sweep to this side right here, and for a moment had them outnumbered. But they did a good job pursuing from the inside out right here. And so you don't worry about those linemen down inside. You just get to make sure you get the edges blocked and all the way up to level 2.
Good job up front by the blockers. Ian Brooks and company blocking. He was the front man in that I formation. As this time wide right is going to be Robert Green and Jesse Waldrop. They line up over there. Ian's going to be in the kind of a wing, if you will, on the right side. Out of the pistol, Damian Lossey, our sophomore quarterback. He turns and runs to the left side. He's got some room. Inside the 45, inside the 40. Finally chased out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. But good play fake over there by Bryce Saint. He kind of went up in the air like he was going to get the ball, and Damian ran the other way.
Yeah, we had a little bit of success last week with this play at Smoky Mountain for this very reason. They get to looking back there, and they think that ball's been tossed. And with Bryce being shorter in stature, they can't see the football. They don't know where it's at. He pulled the backside and bring it around his lead blockers, and there it is.
Good job by Bryce doing that play fake, and now looks like a timeout with 5:09 to play. We're going to take a break as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds, so keep it right here on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. We had a timeout because there was an injury we couldn't see. North Henderson's Zachary McDaniels, their sophomore defensive back who actually made the tackle on that play, was over here basically kind of against the fence on our sideline. We couldn't see him. They're actually going to help him off, but now we can see the replay. We fake the toss as Damian runs it to the left side and does a good job switching that football to the left side against the sideline. And there is where, again, number 10, Zachary McDaniels, rides him out of bounds, and he went off being helped. He didn't put any weight on his right leg. We hope he's going to be okay. We don't like to see kids on either team get hurt. Damian back to throw, got him wide open over the middle, and he dropped it. Oh, Jacob Langston had a wide open territory in front of him, and the ball was there, but just couldn't pull it back in. That was tough.
Yeah, you get to run that one time a game right there. That particular play, looking at the veer on the other side and making the safety run out, and you will generally pull that at one time, and that's it.
Oh, Jacob had some room in front of him here. A lot of grass down there. I'm sure he'd like to have that one back. he's kind of blaming it on one of his pads. He takes one off and throws it over to the sideline.
Yeah, he's mad now.
Yeah,
he's irritated. So,
and that's what good players do. They get unhappy. Left side, Damian Lossy. He started a handoff. He ran it down to the 30 for a 4-yard pickup.
I believe he mishandled a snap there. He didn't get the snap clean, and because his right foot, it looked like he had to stop and pick the ball up. It was almost on the ground. Yeah, and he got.
You're right.
There's the ball's on the ground, and the guard's trying to pull. And luckily, that ball didn't get kicked. That's generally what happened. If you drop a snap like that, and there's a lineman pulling, he ends up either stepping on it or kicking it.
Boy, I tell you, that was dangerous because it did hit the ground on the snap. Fortunately, 3rd down, and we're going to need about 7. Got to get it down to the 24-yard line. We toss it to Bryce Sain. He gets a block. He cuts it outside. He's got some room. He turns the corner. He's down to the 15-yard line. A first down and about 10 more. So a nice run of about 16, 17 yards for Bryce Sain, and some good blocking on the corner.
It was great up there. I'm telling you what. And when he gets a little bit of space out there, and he did the best thing he did was cut there. And now when he sticks his foot in the ground, it's a foot race now to the edge, and he's going to win to most of them. But the secondary player had a good angle on him and just ends up shoving him out of bounds.
So good work over there for our blockers on that side to allow Bryce Sain to get outside. Inside the red zone at the 15-yard line, Damian Lossy is going to keep the football. Now he pitches at the last second to Ian. Ian, head up, good run. He got hit and drove forward for 2 more yards to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, picked up some strong yards right there. That's strong running, and we needed some of that. He's not had the ball in his hands a whole lot this year, but Damian able to pitch that ball, and that's tough. That's to his left-hand side, and that's not easy to do.
One update right now, Murphy leads Central Davidson 28-7 in the 3rd quarter. And our Maroon Devils even better, 35-0 in the 3rd quarter here over North Henderson. Damian under center this time, split backs right behind him, hands off. Nothing fancy there, Coach, just right up the A-gap and some positive yards.
Yeah, if we can just keep picking up positive yards, then we need to pick up this first down, though, because we don't need to be struggling back here and not being able to get it. Now, this right here is a short trap, and they catch us from behind in this right here. We couldn't check all those defensive linemen, and when you get the ball down there that close, they're going to be playing a little tighter.
Ian Brooks on the carry. Here we come, split backs again. Twins on the right side, Damian under center. They've got a bunch of guys up in the box. We hand off to the right side, going in the end zone, standing up. Nothing to it. That looks like Hunter Burrell, number 20 for the touchdown.
It sure was, and that's a smart call. Wow. Here they are again trying to blitz those inside linebackers through gaps right here, and especially this A gap, so we can't get this hook up. Center does a good job of blocking him at the line of scrimmage, and he's able to get out. Damian's able to reach out there and get that ball far enough out there to get him in that veer lane.
What a good run by Hunter and a good block up front by Nolan Brown. This point after touchdown. This one is going to be wide left. Kind of a just didn't get it done with 2:41 to play in the 3rd quarter. Looks like a couple of my golf shots when you duff it and it goes not the way you want it to, Coach. So that one,
he hooked that one just a little bit, yeah.
That's a hook. 41-0. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Stay with us on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back as we're ready to kick it off to North Henderson here. Again, Trevor Emery kicking off tonight for the first time, a true freshman. He's been very consistent. He just nails it right down the middle, this time taken up and dropped at the 15. They pick it up at the 20. They try to reverse field, and we're all over him, but they're breaking a couple of tackles. Finally, we drag him down at the 17-yard line. We didn't quit. There's a very late penalty flag. Lucas Brown and others down there helping out on the tackle. Also looks like 32 down there, Colby Taylor, helping out on the stop, but a late flag coming in.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what this is besides maybe a holding call. It was we just didn't see the flag on to begin with.
But, boy, we had a lot of guys who were taking shots at their return man, and he kept kind of bouncing off, but we kept after him and knocked him down. There's 15, Jesse Waldrop. Boy, Jesse's had a busy night.
Yeah, got block in the back right there, and that's what it was. You can see it on the replay right there.
That's going to back him up now way back inside the 10-yard line. They'll start off first and 10 from just inside the 10 with only 2:29 to play in the third quarter. And now Maroon Devils up 41-0. Quite a turnaround.
Yeah, anytime that ball goes on the ground like that on the kickoff, it's always scary because you're afraid that your players are going to end up running right by the thing, and he'll make a play like that. But in the open field like that, you ain't got to make a pretty tackle, but you've got to get him. You can't just let him keep running through arms. And a lot of times just getting your head across the bow will bring him down, and not let him go get any wider on you right there.
So now it looks like we've got we might have a couple of new folks out there on defense. I know Lucas Brown, one of our juniors, over here on the left side. Also Colby Taylor, of course, he's one of the regulars over there lining up at a linebacker spot. Here they come out of the pistol. They've used pretty much the same set for most of the night, and they run it out across the 10-yard line. And Coach, they're doing nothing fancy. They just line up two to one side, one to the other side, one back behind the quarterback, and here they go.
Yeah, and it's they end up running pretty much the same series of plays every time they get the football. So it's one of those things that you just kind of watch them. They're getting into a kind of a routine now.
Again, not mixing up their offensive sets much at all. And here they go, basically with the same set again. Quarterback drops back right in front of his only back, right behind him. He's going to flip it out there to him in the backfield. He evades one tackle, but this time he's hit and goes down with the second guy getting a shoulder pad on him. That's Charlie Lambert again, 52.
Yeah, Charlie's doing a great job right there. And a lot of times if you watch, when they have to make plays like that in the open field, to make that type of tackle, because they're throwing the ball to a back, you got to come off these blocks out here, use your hands. And right there, a mistake by 20, but he didn't give up. He's got to get himself under control. He doesn't need to get upfield that far, and he'll learn. He'll figure that out. Hey, just let him come to me with that ball.
There you go. Hunter's quick anyway. He can run by folks.
Yeah, that's what happened. He was going so hard at him, he went right by him.
Third down now. They need 6 from the 14. They throw it out here, and they've got the first down out across the 20. But a gang tackle over here, and boy, their receiver had nowhere to go after he caught that football. And hanging on to it over there barely is Connor Hunt, a 6'2 sophomore.
Yeah, good job getting down the line of scrimmage. We got to keep these people in front of us, and don't bite on anything underneath a whole lot. Just break up on the football like that. You can give up some first downs right here and make them drive the football. They'll end up making their own mistakes.
Ian Brooks coming up with a big tackle along with Thomas Allen and Lucas Brown. First down and 10 now for the Knights of North Henderson. This could be the final play of the third quarter. Oh, the quarterback and running back kind of collide, kind of messes up their timing, but he pops it out to the left side, and he's got some room. He's finally chased out of bounds over there by Brandon Salinas. But, boy, he picked up a lot of yards after they kind of had a mix-up in the backfield.
Yeah, what they end up doing right there, that's actually designed. If you'll watch him run, they're pulling the guard to this side. Yep. Now, what we got to do, and right there's I can't even call that a block in the back. That's just we're not got real good angles on him. We're letting him get out front of us, and he takes a real shot right there into the bench. People get knocked around over there. I hope everybody's all right.
Yeah, Brandon knocked him out of bounds, went over there to help him out. Looks like everybody's going to be okay, and that's just good sportsmanship over there. And they're going to let the clock run down here. That might be the final play of the third quarter. No, now they're getting a set, and they're going to go ahead and run this play to wind up the quarter. Same set. Basically, this time the quarterback keeps it. Same play as last time, but he didn't hand off this time, and he gets a first down. So 2 big plays in a row, and North Henderson is up near midfield.
Yeah, this is a read play right here. He's watching to see who's going to close, and as he sees that end to take the outside linebacker taking the angle away from that running back. But to Mr. Allen's credit right there, he didn't give up. He chased the ball from behind.
He did. And again, coming up, Brandon Salinas and Thomas Allen and company helping out on the tackle. That's the end of the third quarter, fans. We're going to take a break down the line. We go to the final 12 minutes, and the Maroon Devils are in control, 41-0. We'll be back in 1 minute here on the Maroon Devils Network. Yep, I'm good either way. Fans, welcome back. One more quarter to play here tonight at Swain County Memorial Stadium in Boise Deeds Field. 41-0. Our Maroon Devils in control right now against the North Henderson Knights, but the Knights have started a good drive, one of their better drives of the night here, Coach, and they're not giving up here. They come in that same pistol set. We're running a four-man front on D, and here they come running right up the gut and spinning for about 3 yards.
Yep, not giving up on their zone plays right there, and I fully expect to see that same look here in a minute, and that quarterback keeping it and doing the same thing he did prior to it.
Running at that play, of course, their main running back tonight, Josh Blatt. He's a 5'7", 145-pound senior. And we got an injured player down for the Knights of North Henderson, and that's going to be one of their big linemen. And, well, they have some big ones, and he's one of them. That's their senior, Curtis Matthews, 5'10", 295, one of their better linemen. And they have three very good senior linemen. Jacob Allison, who goes 5'10", 225, Brock McGee, who is 6'2", 280, and that is Curtis Matthews, who is 5'10", 295. Three very good senior offensive linemen.
Yeah, it looks to be a cramp. Still in that time of year where they're them big fellas, they have to suffer through it.
Yeah, those are painful. They'll feel okay in a few minutes, but boy, they hurt for a while, don't they?
Yeah, it immobilizes him, and that's his thing. He went down on the ground there, and I think he was trying to get up when it hit him, and he went right back down.
But don't forget, fans, coming up next week, we're going to be right back home here. 7:30 kickoff with the Franklin Panthers coming to town. Franklin playing against Rabun Gap over there tonight, one of their old coaches, one of their old players, rather. As a matter of fact, right now, Franklin leads Rabun Gap 28-24 in the third quarter. Rabun Gap coached by Sean Bryson over there, who played at Tennessee, went on to play in the NFL, and good to see some of these guys, Coach, come back into their old stomping grounds and contribute to the sport they love.
Oh yeah, it's real big around here for people to put back something into the communities they came from.
And we, of course, we saw Sean Bryson play many times, and he was an outstanding player in high school and on up the ladder.
Yeah, he was a nightmare for me.
Oh, boy.
We were trying to stop him. It was something else. We got into some real battles over there when he was there.
Some great battles. And I understand, talking to some folks over there, he had, I think he had a father who they said probably, if the cards had fallen right, could have been a Major League Baseball player.
What about that? I didn't know that.
His dad was a great athlete as well. Left side, North Henderson, their best run of the night, and they may take it all the way to the house. They're going to score on this play, and that is their first score all season long in 3 games.
Yeah, we didn't do a very good job there again, getting off blocks, and we get turned, and we let them get into our pads, and they got out there and got us blocked, and blocked the edge right here.
Yes, they did.
Kick us out right here with the lineman, and we're unable to get off of them, and he makes us look bad out in the middle of the field.
Got a couple of good upfield blocks, and again, that's their wing back who's been back there all night. Josh Blatt, the senior, not the big guy, 5'7", 145, but he showed some pretty good moves there.
Yeah, he had good speed upfield. Once he broke it, he's been tackled at or around the line of scrimmage all night long, and then he broke that one loose.
That's got to make him feel pretty good, and now they're going to kick the extra point now. See if they can put this one up, and this is their first attempt all season. And they kick it up and good, so they get on the scoreboard now. 11:15 to play in the ball game. It's Maroon Devils 41, North Henderson 7. Stay with us. We'll be back after this 30-second break on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. Our 50-50 here tonight, believe it or not, was about $6,000. Congratulations to Rachel Lackey. She got half of that, $3,000. And Rachel is such a fine lady. She donated $500 back to Swain County High School. And, Coach, that's one thing I love about Swain County. People always give back. Oh, I didn't know that. Rachel Lackey's the director of the Swain Arts Center. And I tell you, that's really fantastic of her to give $500 back. So thank you, Rachel Lackey. Now North Henderson kicks off, and this is going to be their first kickoff tonight. Bryce is trying to track it down and does. Back at the 7, back out to the 10, trying to find a way, but he didn't get very far at the 13 before he goes down. But again, congratulations and thanks as well to Rachel Lackey. So a good night for her and a good night for us.
Yeah, so far so good. We not real good field position here. We've seen a lot of new faces on our defense the last time up. But this is a time you won't probably not see a whole lot of new faces on the offensive line. Now you may see some different receivers and running backs from time to time, but I would say most of the time that they're going to try to keep as many of those defensive or offensive linemen in the ball game to protect themselves.
Well, you're right, Coach. And coming in now to get some more experience at quarterback, of course, is going to be our man. Looks like Connor Hyatt's in there. He's going to come in at quarterback. Also back in, as you mentioned, Jacob Langston coming back in. Of course, he's been playing a lot of tight end.
Yeah, we had a little bit of an equipment mess up down there, and one of our offensive linemen had to come out.
Here we go. First down and 10 now. Hand off right side. Oh, there's a big hole. Look out. Down the sideline. 40, 45. It's a foot race. And getting caught from behind is Hunter Burrell, but he ripped off about 30-plus yards running down the sideline.
Yeah, weak side veer play. He just he hit it as fast as he could hit that running lane right there. You can see the down block up on pins the linebacker, and he hits it just as tight as he can to stay away from those outside defenders. And it's a straight line. You don't have to do a whole lot, but boy, he hit it good. That was a great explosion up to the line and through the line of scrimmage.
Touchdown saving tackle by Bonham Dockery, but Coach, he had a great lane there, didn't he?
Yeah, isolation play again, and running it out of the eye, just kicking out, blocking down, and leading up through there with the fullback. It's just an old school play. A lot of different guys have run it over the years here, and it's real effective. If you can get them all blocked up there in level 1 and level 2, you can really make some headway.
Good play by Colby Taylor. He's a strong kid, 5'9", 195-pound junior. He has one touchdown tonight. He's in there on the split backs. This time it's going to be Hunter again. Hunter Burrell almost broke that one. One guy got a hand on him, but he got the first down at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, and they're setting this thing up here, and I'm pretty sure they'll keep running it. In a minute, we may see Connor pull that ball because there's nobody left. They're committing to that running back because we're getting them blocked down inside, and they're not closing outside in fast enough on the line of scrimmage. So the linebackers having to run back and make that play, and they're responsible for that quarterback.
Connor under center this time again. Split backs, turns, hands off. This time is Colby again. He's in the secondary. Colby all the way down inside the 15-yard line before they had to gang tackle him, and he didn't want to go down.
Yeah, there's a weak side veer again. We run it now several times in this drive right here, and it's just every time we're getting it blocked at the line of scrimmage. They're having a hard time squeezing it down right there. You can see puts that defensive end out there in no man's land. If he doesn't slam it shut, then that'll happen every time because we're getting the line of scrimmage blocked and getting the linebackers cut off.
Good job over there as he popped it just outside the left tackle and got a first down. Our Maroon Devils on the drive here. Been a quick drive inside the 15 now in the red zone, handing off right side, and it's going to be a touchdown for Hunter Burrell.
Same exact play, same exact blocking scheme, and they're just having a fit trying to get that shut down because here it is to the guard and tackle side. You can see the combo block up onto the linebacker right there, and there's nobody left down in there to take it.
Wow. I tell you, Hunter goes right into the end zone. Some good running on that whole drive, really. Coming on to hold now, Connor Hyatt's actually the holder for the PAT. And Trevor Emery will try to put it up and in. 9:21 to play here. Oh, we got a snap and a hole that didn't work, and so Trevor goes down. The point after no good, but still a 47-7 lead is really impressive, Coach. Our Maroon Devils, I think, have bounced back really well.
Yeah, it's been a true sign of what we're capable of doing, and some of it's finally coming to the surface a little bit, I think. We got to work on this snap, though.
No doubt about it. So next week, of course, as we mentioned, we've got Franklin coming in here next Friday. And, of course, that's going to be our last non-conference game. Then we're open the following Friday, September 14th. Then we come back and open conference play with Hayesville here on September 21st. So after tonight, 2 more home games in a row. Then we go on the road September 28th at Cherokee. We have some couple of big conference games on the road at Cherokee. I know we have to go at Murphy as well.
Yeah, well, I'm anxious to see how this thing's going to start unfolding for us as we get into conference play. A ball game like this right here will do us a lot of good, and we've got to work more and more on the things that we're weak at. And until we can get some of that stuff satisfied, it's going to be hunting time. Is what it's going to be.
Yep. Andrew Chavez coming on now, one of the sophomores coming in on the kickoff team. And here we go as North Henderson back ready to return. 9:21 to play. Still a whole lot of time, but our Maroon Devils in control on this one. And, boy, I tell you, this kid's leg, Trevor Emery, is going to be tired after tonight. He's been kicking a whole lot. And it's going to be brought back by their speed guy. As he runs out across the 35-yard line, a penalty flag comes flying in.
That's in the area generally of where somebody's getting held.
Good tackle over there, but you're right, Coach. Probably a holding call on the return team. And again, that's one of their speed guys over there, Alberto Martinez, number 7. He's capable of busting one if you give him any daylight. But it is going to be a holding call on the return team. It's going to back him up. They were way up here near out close to the 40-yard line, but now they're going to back up.
Yeah, it's from the spot of the foul, and it's actually behind the ball there, and worst place in the world that you can, as an offense, that you want one.
They're going to spot it at the 17. 9 minutes to play here tonight. And our fans have seen a good effort here tonight. Our fans came out. Good to see a lot of folks in maroon and white. The band's down there. A lot of the student section is doing their thing. And, oh, boy, North Henderson just kind of lost their footing there on the backfield.
Yeah, had a tough time handling the football back there and between the quarterback and the running back. And they were attempting to run their read play again there at the line of scrimmage, pulling the guard. He's a lead blocker for the running back up into C-gap. They run it just like an isolation.
Yeah, good tackle in there as well. We were talking about Wendy Peterson earlier. And Trip Peterson, number 41, sophomore, coming up to help on the tackle.
Yeah, a lot of new faces out there. A lot of guys out there trying to get some playing time, get some time under their belt, and get out there and make plays.
And they ran it out to the right side over there, helping out on the tackle. This time it's going to be Garrett McCoy. We got a couple of McCoys. This is Garrett over there again, checking out again. Trip Peterson coming across the field to help out on the stop.
Yeah, good line of scrimmage play out there, and nobody taking off too soon. Got to get off those blocks out there on the edge.
Yep. Thomas Allen helping out. And, Coach, as we know, McCoy has been name that has been synonymous with Maroon Devil football for a while now.
Oh, yeah, and they'll be great ones before they leave here.
Yes, indeed. Back to throw. The quarterback fires. Got his man. Penalty flag down is complete. Not enough for a first down, but the flag may mess it up for the Knights.
I'm thinking it's about the same thing. They're still not lining up right over there, and I don't know whether that the inside receiver is covered up or what they're trying to do there. They were trying to just throw to the first down marker, but yeah, I believe that's what they're calling, is that that receiver's up on the line of scrimmage out there, and if he's covered, he can't get upfield. And so that official over there, he's done a good job of seeing that all night long.
He has.
He's ineligible if he's covered.
And as we watched the replay there, we saw the right tackle move just a tad early. I don't think that's going to be the call, but they've been watching that receiver over there lining up as we see the throw on the instant replay. And again, it's going to be caught. But the flag comes in actually just as the pass got there. Good open field tackle from Robert Green this time. That's going to be declined, and that may bring up fourth down, and we may get the ball back.
Yeah, that's exactly what Coach Blankenship wanted to do was he wanted to have that option. So he has that option, and he takes it.
You want the football back. I was talking to some folks at Franklin today, and they were talking about their game with Murphy, and that's one thing Coach Brooks was talking about. He said, third down, we couldn't get Murphy out the field. We couldn't get the ball back, and as you know, if you don't have the ball, you can't score.
Yeah, you don't score as much, I can tell you that. It's harder to score on D than it is on O. So.
Martinez punts it high, not real deep, but a lot of hang time. It's going to take a night bounce, and it's going to roll down near the 42-yard line. But we'll have the football in very good field position. 7.5 minutes to play here tonight. But we're in control, 47-7 over North Henderson tonight in non-conference play. And Coach, I think we're probably going to see some more new folks on offense this time.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. They went right out there and did exactly what they were supposed to do and drove the ball right down the field and punched it in. And there again, like you said, we're going to see some more different offensive linemen, I think. Not many, but a few.
Yep, Aiden Smith is one of those. He's a big 6'2", 215-pound sophomore, number 55. Is up front. We'll try to get some more numbers as we can. Looks like 56, Michael Winchester, another sophomore at center. More as we go along. Connor Hyatt, of course, is going to be the quarterback. He turns and hands off to Lucas Brown on kind of an end-around play over here on the right side. He's forced out of bounds after he picks up about 5.
Yeah, those pistol people call that a jet sweep, and it just you got that inside receiver, and he's running to intersect with the quarterback and try to get the timing down. As soon as that ball touches that quarterback's hands, is that he can hand it off and stick it in his belly, and he's running full speed by then. He doesn't have to wait to take off or anything, and he hits that edge in a hurry.
Good execution. Andrew Chavez, number 30, another sophomore in there, and we got a lot of sophomores on this team. As a matter of fact, 16 on the lineup. We run to the left side. Another new lineman in there is Aiden Allison, 62, another sophomore.
Yeah, that's the kind of group you got to see. You hope and pray that they all stay together and they stay working together out there, and good things will start to happen. We've taken a lot of sophomore teams that didn't do real well during the regular season, and all of a sudden they find themselves when they get into the playoffs, and big things start happening.
This time wide left, Lucas Brown and Robert Green, number 3 and number 7. Connor fires it over there. He's got his man. That's going to be Lucas for a short gain out near the 48-yard line. But again, good hustle over there and good execution again by the Maroon Devil offense.
Yeah, great blocking at the line of scrimmage, and Connor whipped that thing, man. He cut it loose, and he meant for it to get there in a hurry, and it did.
2 other linemen in there, Coach. Elias Watkins, 59, a junior, and Brent Jackson, a 220-pound sophomore. We got sophomores everywhere.
Yeah, this is great right here. They're getting a lot of good reps. Comes that jet sweep again.
Yep. Oh, they got us in the backfield this time for a loss back inside the 45. So that linebacker got through and nailed us.
Yeah, we didn't get that blocked quite right, and he was there when we got there. So.
Yep, we see him come right over. Looks like right over the A gap.
Yeah,
here he comes.
Can't get that block out there quick enough. You got to have your head up to see that, and they'll learn that. They'll know that as time goes by, they're going to have to do a better job of seeing that kind of thing and cutting it off at the line of scrimmage.
6:09 to play. The clock is stopped for some reason with a score 47-7. North Henderson a man short.
Yeah, I think it was had to stop it because they took over possession of the ball. We're back on D now.
Coach, you're exactly right. Stop the clock. Change possession. They have it in our territory. 1st down and 10. They scored last time, and this time here comes Josh Blatt again. Penalty flag down. He's the running back that scored last time. He stopped after 2 yards, but a flag.
I'm thinking it's going to be a face mask call. Reached out there and grabbed you couldn't see what he was grabbing a hold of, but I think it was the defensive tackle out there, and he ends up trying to come off this block, and he sticks his arm out and hooks him right around the face mask.
Yep, Coach, you're exactly right. We got some new linemen up there. Some of those folks up front. Got Brent Jackson, got Aiden Smith. And it is a personal foul face mask. And so that's going to put North Henderson in really good shape down at our 26, 27-yard line with a 1st and 10. Still 6 minutes to play here in the ballgame. Now they look to the sideline for the play call. And we have basically a whole new defense in there.
Oh, yeah. Trying to get, like I said, trying to get some young faces out there and get some playing time.
Got Michael Winchester, Elias Watkins, 2 other linemen up front. And they run to the left side this time. Pretty good coverage.
Yeah, it's a turn back play again. They make you think they're taking it out one side, and he just stops when the quarterback gives him the ball and reverses the field on you.
Also in there.
Backside tackle, and he's a lead blocker for him over here. It's kind of like a long trap play.
Garrett McCoy and Tripp Peterson, a couple of the new linebackers in there backing up that defensive front. And also coming up from the secondary, Brandon Salinas. He's back there playing strong safety, if you will. One of the corners over here, Lucas Brown. He's backing off the line of scrimmage. And here comes. Oh, we almost got him in the backfield. We do slow him up enough, and knocking in there is Aiden Smith, 55.
Yeah, he did a great job as that guard was pulling. He just followed him, and that's what you want him to do because there's nobody there checking him off, and they're going to try to zone block this thing. And as that guard, he turns up into that A gap and peels off and gets him.
Got a good hand on him, slowed him down, knocked him down. Play's over. 3rd down and 9 now. 4:42 to play. It's a 47-7 Maroon Devil lead. North Henderson looking to the sideline. That's where their plays come in. And they've used the same set all night. Pistol set, 2 wide on one side, 1 wide on the other side. Haven't changed it hardly at all. This time they swing it out to the back who scored a moment ago. He runs out to the left side, and we get him down. Good coverage over there. Lucas Brown got him and hung on.
Yeah, he hung on for dear life. He realized he had a bad angle, and he stretched his body out and made a play then. Yeah,
kind of hurt himself, but he's back up, ready to go. But that was here he comes. Out of the camera lens. There he comes, trying to fight off a block and got just enough of him to bring him down.
Yep.
And coming up 39 over there, Garrett McCoy to help out.
Yeah, we'll see here whether they take advantage of this wide side of the field. Trying to get the ball from where that back's lined up. It looks like that may be something they're going to attempt to do is get out there to the wide side of the field and make it a foot race of some kind.
Maroon Devils 4-man rush. They run right up the A gap, and they get the 1st down to the 15-yard line. But again, pretty good coverage up there by our secondary. Coming up to help out on the tackle is 39, Garrett McCoy.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of new faces out there. A lot of them trying to find them a place to play out there, and they're working hard to try to do it.
And it's different on Friday night, isn't it, Coach?
Oh, yeah, it is. And they go out there and practice every day, and they sweat just like the rest of them.
That's it. They want to get out there and let their kinfolks watch it play. Pump fake in the end zone. Oh, knocked away at the last second. Great play by Lucas Brown because they had their man open in the corner of the end zone, but Lucas turned just at the right time to slap it away.
Yeah, you knew sooner or later they're going to come back with that thing because now they're going empty back there. Here's the pump fake on that hitch they've been throwing out there, and then he releases right on upfield. He stops for a split second, and then he tries to get behind the corner, and they try to throw it up to him and come back and made a great defensive play, getting his hand in there on the ball.
Boy, he did. Their receiver was upset. He thought he had him a touchdown. This time they hand off to the running back. They're only back in the backfield. He runs down inside the 10 for a nice gain, talking about Josh Black.
Yeah, pulling that backside guard. He becomes the single blocker up in on the linebacker, and they turn out, block down, just like we do on isolation play, and they're using this guard just like we do a fullback out of the eye. And he takes on the linebacker right there, and then everybody's trying to come up from the secondary to make the play.
I tell you, Garrett did a pretty good job fighting out that blocker and helping out on the stop.
Yeah.
Good play over there for McCoy. Third down now. They need 3 inside our 10-yard line. They're trying to get on the scoreboard here. It's not going to change the outcome, but just the final score. This time it's going to be Blatt. He runs back inside. He's close down near the 2-yard line. Again, it's going to be Josh Blatt on the carry. Got a first down and goal, Coach. So now with 2:07 to play, they've got 4 new plays to try to punch it in.
Yeah, getting it down there now. Then trying to. And here's the same exact play they just ran. He's folding. There you see the guard folding over the top, and he cuts it outside this time rather than turning it up inside, and we're able to get him before he gets into the end zone. We've got to put our pads on him just a little bit tougher.
I tell you, it's tough to stop a team at the 1-yard line when they have 4 downs.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I hate it.
It can be done, but it's just almost impossible.
Yeah.
With any kind of surge, and they get the end zone on the first play again. That's Josh Blatt, 21. They're running back, and they're up to 13. It's a 47-13 Maroon Devil lead with 1:39 to play here tonight.
Yeah, there it is again. They don't do much any different. There's the isolation block, and he's up in. That seems to be their bread and butter, and that's just a play they're going to have to stick with and try to get better at. I'm sure that's what they're working on, and they want to get that type of play perfected before they start doing anything else.
And they were running in there behind big Curtis Matthews, who was cramping earlier, the big 295-pounder up front. He kind of cleared the way. Now for the point after, it's going to be up. And this one is going to be good. So we're going to go to a timeout with 1:39 to play here tonight. And our Maroon Devils all over North Henderson, 47-14. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. 1:39 to play here. Our Maroon Devils on the way to our first victory of the season, leading North Henderson 47-14. And our Maroon Devils, of course, will be hosting Franklin next week. Franklin struggling with Rabun County tonight. We haven't seen the final score, but they've had to really fight in that ball game over there. And of course, that's going to be our final non-conference game before a week off and conference play following that up, Coach. And as we know, those are the games these are important, but those conference games are the ones that count.
Yeah, you're looking at your win-loss record here in ball games like this, because you got to try to make as good a showing as you can for when the season is over. But you got to win in the conference.
Here comes Colby Taylor on the return. He's got some room. He's going to be caught from behind and dragged down at the 42, but a good return over there by Colby Taylor, our junior return man. So we'll have the ball with probably the last series here with 1.5 minutes to play.
Yeah, he did a great job of just staying under the football right here and finding his way back across the field. For a moment, he thought about going upfield right there and maybe going out of bounds with it, but he sees something right here and makes up some ground.
Good job. There were a lot of white jerseys over there on that side.
Good job blocking over here on the edge by Bryce.
Getting him some room, and that's a good return. So this time it's going to be Connor Hyatt working out of the pistol. He's got twins on the left and twins on the right. We're a man short up front. Now getting in there is Aiden Smith. He lines up over there at the right tackle. And we tried to run that way, but they said no. They brought one of their big linemen in, big Jacob Allison, and kind of threw our running back to the ground. And that was Andrew Chavez. That was his first carry tonight, number 30.
Yeah, he'd like for it to have been better than that, but it was a
oh, he had nowhere to go, did he?
They kind of mauled us right there.
They got two players around the football, and and wouldn't let us get outside. A minute to play now. Also coming back in now, Lucas Brown lining up wide right over here with Robert Green. Over on the left side, we've got Trip Peterson and Brandon Salinas. And here comes almost a jet sweep looking play again over here as we hand off to Lucas Brown.
It was the jet sweep, and we had a little bit of confusion out there on the edge about who we were going to be blocking, but we were one block away from springing that thing. You can see right here the back that's back there. He's trying to block the same person that the receiver's blocking and leaves this outside defender unblocked, the corner.
And that's something they'll learn with time, isn't it?
It sure is.
It's who to get to.
He sees him sealed, he can step right on around and pick up that next one.
Got time for one more play here tonight. 17 and a half seconds. We got a couple more players coming in. That's actually Connor coming in with a play and Robert Green joining him. And I'm not even sure we're going to take another snap. I don't think we are. That's going to wind it up, fans. And our Maroon Devils have come back tonight and said, hey, we've got a lot of football left to play for and a lot of pride. And they put it on the line tonight and got the job done with a 47-14 win over North Henderson. And, Coach, that is really good to see.
Well, you said the right word right there when you said pride. And pride carries a lot of – it's a word that gets thrown around a lot. But you got to have some pride in your own heart and head to make things like this happen and to stand up and come back out here and battle, like you said, a tough week of practice, I'm sure, and to show up tonight and come out to play the game like the way it's supposed to be played. You see a lot of positives. You see a lot of good things happening.
We played well on both sides of the ball. We had some good defensive effort, some good offense. We saw some good execution with our special teams. So some good things to hang our hat on and look forward to next week.
Yeah.
Fans, stay tuned. We'll be back. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout, and we'll return right here on the Maroon Devils Network.
Hello, Maroon Devil fans. This is Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, asking you to come out and support our Maroon Devils during this upcoming sports year. I know what it's like to wear the maroon and white and the dedication to excellence it takes to reach your goals. Like so many of the teammates I had the honor of playing with, together we accomplished some great things. I've taken the same dedication and lessons I've learned from the playing fields with me to Farley Insurance to become the best insurance agent I can be, and then some. Whether it's home, auto, life, health, business, or commercial, Farley Insurance is dedicated to making sure we take care of you and your family. Come be a part of the largest independently owned insurance company in the Smoky Mountain Conference, located at 264 U.S. Highway 19, Bryson City, North Carolina. Numbers 828-366-2555. Again, 828-366-2555. I'm Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, your hometown insurance agent. And go Big Maroon.
Yep. Fans, welcome back on the postgame show brought to you by Michael Watson and the great folks at Farley Insurance here in Bryson City. Let's run down the scoreboard. Right now, they're still playing in the fourth quarter. Pisgah leading Tuscola 20-10. I tell you, Coach, when those guys get together in front of 10,000 people, they get after it.
Yeah, they're having a real barn burner over there, that's for sure.
And they're playing over there at Canton tonight. Hendersonville beating Asheville 42-25 in the fourth quarter. Robbinsville pounded Enka 54-13 at final. Reynolds over Owen 48-9 late in that game. Kings Mountain shutting out Robertson 48-zip. Also, Patton over McDowell, 28-7 in the fourth. Well, they still have a close one. Smoky Mountain leading North Buncombe by 1 point, 19-18 in the fourth quarter. Also, West Henderson over East Henderson late, 34-13. In a weather delay, Brevard and Drawn, they're still trying to play tonight. Franklin right now with a healthier lead in the fourth quarter, 40-24 over Rabun Gap. Mitchell over Trinity Academy, 44-17. I tell you, Mitchell's been tough for a long time. Madison leading Rosman right now, 36-20 in the fourth. Polk County over RS Central, 12-6 in the fourth. Watauga put the finishing touches on a 58-7 win over Avery County. Also, Murphy right now in control over Central Davidson. That's a team we played back in 1979. Murphy winning 35-14 in the fourth quarter. Andrews winning tonight. Congratulations to James Phillips, 45-0 over Gladiator Sports Academy. Christ School over Cannon, 34-7. Asheville School over Greenville Hurricanes, 42-0. So, Coach, we're seeing some good football, and we saw a good one here tonight as our Maroon Devils put up 326 yards on 53 plays.
Yeah, that looks a little more like it right there. That it's not a surprise. It's been coming. We've just not been able to put it together for any length of time until tonight.
We got it done on the ground. 48 carries, 299 yards on the ground. We threw 3 out of 5 for 27 yards, but we showed we can throw the football when we need to, and our defense stepped up. We held North Henderson to 131 yards total offense on 42 plays. They ran it 28 times for 89 yards. They passed it 9 of 14 and 1 pick for 42 yards. But again, we got the job done, I think, really in every phase of the game.
Yeah, we did. We did. We outplayed them with a kicking game, offensively and defensively, and we needed that. Boy, that's a real shot in the arm, and I can't say it enough what that will do for their for their work ethic, and it just goes to show, coaches have tendencies sometimes to go off the deep end when things aren't going your way, and I'm as guilty as anybody of that. But you got to dance with what's brung you, and I think that's what we got back to tonight a whole lot.
And got back to basics, and the Veer looked, I think, very positive tonight. We ran the ball well, and just about every Maroon Devil football team in history, with maybe the exception of some of Heath Schuler's teams, we've got to run the football.
Oh yeah, if you can't, it's coming back in every area of you see of football throughout this country. If you can't run the ball in the college, you're going to get beat. If you can't run it in the pros, you're going to get beat. So it's all coming back around. A lot of this, what people used to call the West Coast offenses, run and shoot offenses, where you're throwing the ball every other play, maybe running the ball 8-9 times a game, then those days are gone. You just can't win football games like that.
If you don't believe me, ask people like Alabama and Georgia and Clemson.
Well, yeah, and in any good high school team, I don't care what they run, spread offenses. If you're not a threat to run the football, then people lay their ears back and they pass rush, and people have learned over the years exactly how to do it rather than just sit back and wait for something to happen. The defense has started making things happen and forced a lot of people to go back to run the football.
I think you're right, Coach, and we saw some of that last year, for example, with in the college level with Saquon Barkley at Penn State and what he could do with the football in his hands. But again, when you look at like the Final Four in college football, every one of those Final Four teams had powerful running games.
Oh yeah, and the extent that your offense is going to take you is it's going back to the days when running the football sets up you throwing the football and not the other way around, and so it's no longer really a big guessing game. If you can't run it, you can't win.
Oh, no question about it. Fans, that's going to wrap it up tonight. Again, our Maroon Devils winning 47-14 for Coach Rod White, for Toby and Sharon Burrell, Bob Thomas, Joe Holt upstairs, Emma Dingle. We want to say good night from Swain County Memorial Stadium in Boise Beach Field. Join us next Friday, 7 o'clock. The Franklin Panthers will be here. Let's be here and show them some football. Thanks, and have a great weekend, everybody.